Major League Baseball on CBS is sponsored in part by Jack in the Box restaurants. There's always something new.
I think winning a baseball game is a little like fighting crime. There's running, there's hitting, and there's getting home safely.
Jake and the Fat Man return after baseball.
From the network of the 1992 Olympic Winter Games, next, CBS Sports presents the World Series, Game 4.
When the Twins came to Atlanta, they were halfway home. The Braves were down 2 games, but they were, well, home. Home where their fans' hearts are. Another Battle of October was going eyeball to eyeball. Who would blink first?
Hit it good.
Trailing for the first time in the series, the hungry Twins caught a break and sent out for Chile.
How far is this going? We are tied.
As the game wore on, the pressure mounted, and all sorts of strange things began. And wouldn't you know it? It was a full moon. For Braves fans of all ages, the dream season continued as yet another improbable hero stepped up.
Lemke hits it into left field. Here comes Justice. Save! And Atlanta wins it.
Welcome back to Atlanta, a town of true believers whose faith in the Braves was rewarded yet again in the wee hours of the morning. And if you thought the Chop Shop was a madhouse last night, you haven't heard nothing yet. And so on this Indian summer night, these people have one message in mind. The South shall rise again. So we're live from Atlanta-Fulton County Stadium. We're at Game 4 of the 1991 World Series, the Minnesota Twins and the Atlanta Braves here on CBS Sports. And hi again, everybody. I'm Pat O'Brien. Happy to have you with us again, and happy that Tommy Lasorda has returned. How'd you get a day off?
Pat, when you work as hard as I do, you need a day off.
Tommy, welcome. You know, you didn't name this the Fall Classic for nothing, and I would guess that almost anywhere you went today, topic A was, at the very least, who is Mark Lemke? At any rate, at every office cooler and Xerox machine, they were talking baseball. And here's what they had to say to me on the field, starting with Twins manager Tom Kelly, who was surrounded today, and the strategy was questioned.
We did everything we could to try to win the ball game. I have no second thoughts about anything that we did.
No moves you'd like to have back?
No, and I rehearsed the game. The coaches went through it again with us, with me last night, and we talked about it again today a little bit. And none of them could come up with anything else we could have done.
We knew they were in a little trouble. They had 9 guys left, and that was the 9 guys we saw on the field. But actually, I was more scared of Rick Aguilera being up there with the bases drunk and 2 outs than most of their guys.
We let last night get away, and we're going to come out prepared to play tonight.
Clubs up, ready to go, confident?
Sure. I think everybody, you know, we got home kind of late last night. I think everybody got their rest, slept in a little bit, and ready to go to work today.
Well, the Twins were a pretty loose bunch today. They're still in the driver's seat. What about that game last night?
Well, it was a very exciting game, Pat. Believe me, I think the fans loved it. Everybody loved it. But what happened was that the Atlanta Braves manufactured a winning run. Here was a guy like Olsen, hits the ball. It looks like it's an ordinary single. But when he left home plate, he thought 2. And he made a double out of a ball that he should have only been on first base. Consequently, it won the ball game for them.
You're gonna be hearing this chant all next season, aren't you? You're gonna like this. It's a pivotal game tonight, and Jack Morris arrived at the ballpark. He's already won 3 postseason games, including the World Series opener. But he told me that what he'd really like to accomplish in this National League park is hit one out, hit a home run. for the Braves, John Smoltz. And how clutch is he? Here he is arriving, of course, with his catcher. Wants a couple of tickets there, Greg Olson. He shut out the Pirates in Game 7 of the NLCS. And Tommy, I'm the manager. You're Jack Morris. I'm giving you the ball. What do you have to do?
Well, you got to remember one thing. He's 36 years old, Pat. He's pitching on 3 days rest. He'll probably get tired in the latter part of the game. He's going to lose some of his velocity. But he'll have more movement on the ball. If he gets his split finger fastball over, he will make it tough on the Atlanta hitters.
Split finger important there. Now what about John Smoltz?
John Smoltz, he's the winningest pitcher in baseball in the second half of the season. He is on a roll. He's got good stuff. You've got to stay close to him. If you stay close to him, there's a good chance that he'll make a mistake in the latter part of the ball game. Get him some runs early in the ball game. He's tough. You've got to get to him early, Pat.
A couple of good things to watch for tonight, Tommy. A couple of lineup changes. For the Twins, Mike Pagliarulo will play third base against the right-hander John Smoltz, and Brian Harper will return behind the plate. Well, you might say that Tom Kelly and Bobby Cox are not the only ones expanding their learning curves. In one Minneapolis grade school, they're using baseball to drive some important lessons home. Okay, class, what have we learned so far in this World Series? In Minnesota, they have a new curriculum. And don't you wish you had these as textbooks? Okay, some basic geography for you.
Center field was
Gant or Justice?
I think it was Gant.
Well, we'll give you an A for that. And by the way, can you spell world champion? I knew you could. When we come back, you thought you were tired this morning? We'll show you how Atlanta dragged itself to work as our coverage of the 1991 World Series rolls on from the land of the free and the home of the Braves here on CBS. Stay with us.
CBS Sports coverage of Game 4 of the 1991 World Series is brought to you by Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering. Advil, advanced medicine for pain. And by McDonald's, getting more for your money. That's McDonald's today.
Come on, big man. Let's do the twist. Okay, we took the whole idea of car ownership and gave it a new twist. The new Elantra. A sedan so well built and tested, it comes with 2 years service and maintenance free. About all you pay for is gas, which makes owning anything else seem, well, a little bit twisted, huh? The new Elantra from Hyundai. Yes, Hyundai.
And do the twist. Everest, where the toughest colds live.
Before I went for the summit, I took Alka-Seltzer Plus. It cleared up my runny nose, my stuffy head, and relieved my aches and pains. If something works, you use it, and it worked.
Alka-Seltzer Plus, tough medicine for tough winter colds.
Some people perspire.
We sweat.
The only protection for us?
New Arid XX Sports Scent.
It's the only leading sports solid that doesn't leave a white flaky mess.
New Arid XX Sports Scent helps keep us extra
dry.
It's alive!
After a hard day in the lab, I like nothing more than a cold beer and a couple of videos. Bob liked it too.
Yes.
And now I can really kick back with Miller Lite and Genuine Draft in Halloween costumes. And a special offer on a Frankenstein and Dracula dual pack from MCA Universal Home Video. Wherever you scream from Miller. We need to unearth a few more cases.
Summer's searing heat can kill a car's battery.
You know that sinking feeling? You turn the key and nothing.
Now Sears introduces the Die Hard Gold Heat Handler, engineered to handle the heat twice as long as other high heat batteries.
I hear my battery gets baked.
New Die Hard Heat Handler from Sears, designed to last twice as long for more power when you need it most.
Who's gonna back you better than Sears?
Terry Bradshaw and the NFL Today.
No huddle offense. Let me just put it like this. Number one, it's a great day, Greg. It's a great day. I'm all fired up.
There's no one else like him.
All right, welcome back to Atlanta-Fulton County Stadium. Almost time for Game 4 of the World Series, and the wily veteran Jack Morris, a live picture of him there as he's getting ready for tonight's ball game. for Minnesota. Bobby Cox on the phone making last-minute preparations. Looks a little nervous there, but that's usually the way he has got his game face on, getting ready for the game. And what about tonight's game, Tommy? What does Bobby Cox have to do?
Well, you talk about Atlanta winning that game last night, but you got to remember that Minnesota is still in the driver's seat. What they want to do, Pat, they want to win one of the two games. If they can get back home with 3 victories under their belt, they'll be in good shape. On the other hand, Atlanta tonight has got to play more aggressively. They've not been running the bases. They stole 10 bases in the playoff, and they've only stolen 1 thus far. They got the guys that can run over there. You got to run on Harper as much as you can. Play an aggressive brand of baseball. Manufacture runs. They're not hitting. Pendleton has to start hitting, and Gant.
What's Bobby Cox thinking right now? He's on the phone down there in the dugout.
Bobby Cox is thinking, I want to get out in front real fast. Because you give Smoltz 3 or 4 runs, he's tough.
Maybe ordering a pizza for later. You never know. Until last night, by the way, Atlanta has never had the privilege of hosting the Fall Classic, so you can imagine how Game 3 affected this town last night, and on the morning after, the longest World Series game in 14 years. The streets of downtown were deserted, and even those who instead made it a night at the opera became phantom fans in the garish light of intermission.
I'd like to be there. I'm here. I don't know the score yet. 1-1. 1-1.
Save! And Atlanta wins it!
This morning, the city got off to a slow start.
Tomahawk rocking for you this morning. Rudlove and Radical waking up in Atlanta. A lot of people are just now waking up. It's 10 minutes away from 10 o'clock, a real late-night game last night.
That alarm clock sounded like an atom bomb is what it did. Are you late from work?
Yeah. Stayed up too late to watch the game. Bye. I keep telling my teachers, excuse me if my grades drop, but the Braves are more important at this time.
Go Braves. Mark this day out. 2 more to go.
Well, the crowd may be a little sleepy-eyed, but they are getting ready for Game 4. It is a beautiful evening in Atlanta, Georgia. Great night for baseball. We're outside on the grass. Looking forward to this. And like the Braves, the fans here, they know how to bounce back. And believe me, right now, they are wide awake. Back in a moment.
I'm Paula Zahn with an Olympic profile. Next, the slow but fast skater from Holland.
Come on, Taffy. Let's go find Daddy. Hi. I like the
Look who's coming. With a Coke for Daddy. Hi, Jenny.
Hi, Daddy.
Ice cold, too.
Thank you, Daddy.
Jennifer.
When Holland's Christine Ofting competes in speed skating, her performance sometimes looks like an optical illusion. Because of her size, she appears to be skating slowly. Nicknamed a bear, the powerful Ofting won 3rd place in the 1991 World Sprint Championships.
Coca-Cola Classic, sponsor of this profile and the Winter Olympics on CBS.
It's not just a new car, it's a new way of doing business. The new Elantra, a sedan so well built and worry-free, we can introduce it with 2 years service and maintenance free. About all you pay for is gas. Now, why would you want to take your business anywhere else? The new Elantra from Hyundai. Yes, Hyundai.
Sparky's Big Game Wisdom.
You gotta have a definite pre-game strategy. Mine, get a comfortable chair, big screen TV, and remember, call Domino's Pizza.
Call now and get a Domino's Pizza delivered for the game.
Nobody knows like Domino's.
Peanuts, wafers, chocolate, sparkling. Now that we have the best candy bar, bar none, we need the best name, bar none.
Bar none.
Bar none.
Bar none.
Bar none.
Bar none, the candy bar that named itself from Hershey's.
Friday, Disney's Biggest Bash still needs a host. Will it be Eddie Murphy, Steve Martin, Robin Williams, Goldie Hawn, Whoopi Goldberg, Dolly Parton, Carol Burnett, or Tim Allen? Garth Brooks, Angela Lansbury, and Amy Grant star in an evening of fun, music, and magic. The 20th anniversary celebration of Disney World, Friday.
Well, Atlanta is a town with a rich baseball tradition that predates the arrival of the Braves. And as far as we're concerned, any place where Tim McCarver played minor league baseball is the real thing. So let's pitch it across to him and the voice of the Fall Classic, Jack Buck. Your game, Mr. Buck.
Thank you, Pat, and good evening, everyone. Tim, last night's game, one of the most exciting World Series games ever. Not necessarily the best game played ever, but we had a little bit of everything. We had some hitting, pitching, base running, and defense.
And it seemed like a lot of good and bad things happened to Greg Olson last night to illustrate your point. In the 10th inning last night with 2 out and nobody on, Greg Olson turning a single into a double and taking advantage of the depth of Kirby Puckett. Defensively, Greg Olson in the 8th inning. Watch this brilliant play by third baseman Scott Leyes to get Olson at first. But with runners at first and third in the 8th inning, Alejandro Pena on the mound, and the play that saved the game for the Atlanta Braves and gave them a chance to win. The short hop pick, and that kept the runner on third base. And I'll tell you one thing, that is going to be another thing as far as flip-flopping that momentum. Those are the types of plays that will continue to flip-flop the momentum for both clubs for the rest of this series.
And I wonder what the Fates have in store for us tonight. We'll return to Atlanta's Fulton County Stadium after this message and a word from your local station.
U.S. champion Tanya Harding, world champion Christy Yamaguchi, America's 2 reigning queens of the ice in their first showdown of the season, Olympic Winterfest, Saturday.
This is CBS.
Watch carefully. What you are about to see is fast, very fast. When the Pennzoil Special is racing at 230 miles per hour at Indy, its engine needs all the protection it can get. And that's what it gets with Pennzoil. The same straight-off-the-shelf Pennzoil quality that goes in your car. On the road or on the racetrack, nothing performs like Pennzoil, because nothing protects like Pennzoil.
Pennzoil, ever since America learned to drive.
When you rent from Hertz in Florida, you get more than a great car at a great rate. The real bargain is the company behind the car. Because whatever it takes to make your vacation go smoothly, Hertz is there to make it happen. From emergency road service that's as close as a phone to free unlimited mileage, wherever you roam. Next time you're in Florida, wouldn't you feel better with Hertz behind you?
Hertz, we're America's wheels.
Reformulated Chevron Supreme. The unleaded gasoline that actually offers low emissions and smooth performance. Reformulated Chevron Supreme. The best of both worlds.
A Channel 2 movie special, Murder Ordained Part 1, tonight at 8:30.
We're back here at Atlanta's Fulton County Stadium, Atlanta, Georgia, getting ready for Game 4. Let's join Marshall Mann, the Atlanta Braves public address announcer, for the introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the presentation of the colors by the Henry County NJROTC Color Guard from McDonough, Georgia. And please remain standing. And to honor America, join in the singing of our national anthem, which will be presented tonight by the 1991 Country Music Association Horizon Award winner, Warner Brothers recording artist, and Marietta, Georgia native, Travis Tritt.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Once again, a big crowd to watch the Braves and the Twins, and we're getting ready for the first pitch of Game 4. A wonderful night weather-wise down here in Georgia.
CBS Sports coverage of Game 4 of the 1991 World Series is brought to you by Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering. Advil, advanced medicine for pain. And by McDonald's, getting more for your money. That's McDonald's today.
You made me love you. I didn't want to do it. You made me want you. And all the time you knew it. I guess you always knew it.
You know you love the luscious taste of McDonald's Big Mac. Add fries and a Coke for a deal that's irresistible. The Big Mac Extra Value Meal at McDonald's today.
You know you made me love you.
The Allstate agent who helps insure your car can give you a hand with a plan for life insurance. Life insurance. Your Allstate agent wants to be your agent for life. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Whenever I'm out there on the mound, I have to use my head as well as my arm. That's why whenever I get a headache, I reach for Advil.
Just one Advil is as effective as 2 regular-strength Tylenol acetaminophen.
When it comes to striking out headaches, Advil's a winner with me.
Advil, advanced medicine for pain.
The race is on to make batteries that last longer. And today's Duracell batteries can even outrun the ones we made just a few years ago. Today's Duracell. You can't top the copper top.
Dentists tell you to change your toothbrush every 3 months. So does the new Oral-B indicator. When the blue band fades halfway, it's time for a new brush. The new indicator from Oral-B, the brand more dentists use.
The numbers are heartbreaking. Almost 2 million American teenagers use illicit drugs. More than 250,000 of them use cocaine or crack at least once a week. To appreciate the magnitude of these numbers, all you have to do is look at one. Remember, it's not a game, it's your life. Don't let it end in sudden death.
Atlanta's Fulton County Stadium, and we're right on time. John Smoltz has come in from the bullpen. Very shortly, the Braves will be taking the field. Here's a former Brave who took the field, Phil Niekro, and he threw out the ceremonial first pitch, and he brought the crowd to life for the first time this evening. I guess this was a knuckleball, right, Tim?
Absolutely. I think Greg Olson should have had the big mitt, but Olson made a nice play on that ball like he did
we showed in the pregame that play he made on the short hop by Alejandro Pena last night. He had to do it with the knuckleball today.
He is one of the favorites of these Atlanta fans, and now you'll hear a generous roar as the Braves take the field.
Matchup we've got tonight. Two right-handers, young John Smoltz and his idol, his boyhood idol, Jack Morris. John Smoltz had a little bit of a mechanical problem in the first half. He was 2-11. What did he do? He went to a little more of an exaggerated hip turn to try to use his legs more, like his idol, Jack Morris. Let's take a comparative look at their two pitching motions. Morris on the left, the big turn, drives with the legs. Morris on your right does the same thing. I'll tell you, we've talked a lot about the little men in this series, but here is two big men that, if they have a big night tonight, are going to have a lot to do with who wins this year's World Series. John Smoltz and Jack Morris. Interesting matchup.
They've both been very good in postseason. Smoltz defeated the Pittsburgh Pirates twice, including the clincher, the 7th game. He won the blowout 10-3. And Jack Morris won game 1 of this World Series after beating Toronto twice. Here's the lineup to be faced by John Smoltz, Dan Gladden, Chuck Knobloch, Kirby Puckett in center field, Ken Herbig at first. And it's Brian Harper doing the catching. Shane Mack in right field. Mike Tagliarulo at third base. It's a little different batting order. Gagne at short. And Jack Morris, the pitcher. No DH being used this evening.
Backing up, the smoke of Smoltz will be Lonnie Smith in left field. In center field, Ron Gant. David Justice will be the right fielder. Terry Pendleton at third base. Rafael Belliard will be the shortstop once again. Mark Lemke, the hero of last night's game, at second. Sid Bream at first base. And Greg Olson, one of the real stars of this series and postseason for the Atlanta Braves, behind the plate. Mark Lemke with a base hit in the bottom of the 12th inning last night to plate David Justice. And that theme continues, how the little big men continue to perform well. And there's Greg Olson. We showed you that short hop. He leads the Braves in postseason play, batting .324 in postseason. He did well against Pittsburgh and has done well against the Minnesota Twins.
Tim, you made an interesting point about that play by Greg Olson. It doesn't show up in the box score, so people don't remember it.
Yeah, and Steve Hurd, our statistician, talking about because someone doesn't jot it down on the scorecard. I mean, if you make a play like that, you don't put it on the scorecard, so you're inclined to forget it. And I think that's a good point.
Dan Gladden has 3 hits in the series, and he's going to lead it off. He scored a run in the first inning last night as Atlanta kind of gave the Twins a run. Gladden came very close later on to hitting a 3-run homer. He pinned the left fielder up against the wall, and we'll see what sort of start he gives us tonight against John Smoltz. First pitch, game 4. Try call. Smoltz 14-13 for the year, but 12-2 after the All-Star break, plus those 2 wins against the Pirates. 1-1. The umpires tonight are Terry Tate of the National League behind the plate, Rick Reed, Ed Montague, Don Denkinger, Harry Wendelstedt, and Drew Coble. Coble in the right field corner. 1-1 to Gladden to start this game. To the shortstop, Belliard. That's the way this starts. Even there, Tim, on a routine ground ball, we saw how fast this infield is down here in Atlanta.
Bobby Cox has said that since no football has been played on this field, it is not as fast as it is during the summer, but still a very, very fast infield compared to Arlington, Texas, where the Texas Rangers play.
About like that field down there. Now Smoltz to Knobloch. Chuck is 4 out of 11 in the series. Texas A&M product. He gets ahead on the count.
That's the fastball from Smoltz. Right-handed batters can expect to see a fastball and a slider primarily, an occasional changeup. Left-handed batters will see the same fastball, but they'll see the curveball from Smoltz. So Ken Herbeck will not see the slider, but the curve.
Knobloch pokes it into right field. That ball gets down fair. Knobloch goes for 2, and he'll make it. A one-out double here in the first inning. Knobloch's 5th hit.
And that was the slider. As you can see the breaking ball break parallel to the ground, and watch the hitting by Knobloch. Boy, that is good hitting. A perfect pitch, and Knobloch knocks it down the right field line and has his 12th hit of postseason play, and that breaks a record for a rookie.
And it gives the Twins a chance with a runner at second and 1 out to take a first inning lead.
Jimmy Sebring of Pittsburgh back in 1903, and then Fred Lynn, a terrific series he had against the Reds and against the Oakland Athletics in 1975. That's postseason hits for a rookie in Knobloch's new record.
That counts the playoff against Toronto plus this series. Here's a fly ball for Justice at the track for the second out. Knobloch stays at second base. That ball flew a long way when you consider the right-handed batter hit it. And Puckett is now 1 for 13. And there are 2 out. Tim, judging by the hit by Knobloch and the approach by Puckett, looks like they might have intentions of going the other way against John Smoltz.
Yeah, well, the way to keep right-handers from doing that is to pitch them inside. That makes that slider that much more effective.
Herbeck now, 3 hits in the series, including a home run. Ball 1 from the Atlanta pitcher.
Atlanta pitchers do not want to leave the ball out over the plate to Ken Herbeck. He loves to extend his arms, and that is common for most power hitters. They try to pitch him inside.
This inning, no score. Knobloch at second, 2 out. These Atlanta fans have grown to be very fond of Herbeck because of that play at first base involving Ron Gant in game 2, where Herbeck lifted him off the base.
And that was the curveball, and you could see the downward movement to Ken Herbeck. Herbie having a tough time with runners on base. Only 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position. There's the curve right there. You could see that downward movement.
Now a fastball strike, 1 and 2. Herbeck was one of the many Twins last evening who passed up the opportunity to drive in runs in that extra inning affair. First baseman Breen to the pitcher. Nothing doing for the Twins. 1 hit, 1 left, and Jack Morris will pitch.
Power. Applied intelligently, its effects are magnificent. Witness the Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme. Powered by the world's largest 24-valve V6 engine and an electronic transmission. It's a car designed to provide a more intelligent standard of performance, measured not simply in miles per hour, but by a slightly different gauge, miles per gallon. Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering.
At our last meeting, Barkley, we agreed that this combination of peanuts, wafers, and chocolate was the best candy bar, bar none. And you had to come up with the best name, bar none. Yes, bar none. Bar none, Barkley.
Bar None, the candy bar that named itself from Hershey's.
Gene Shalit calls it a toboggan of fun, finance, and romance that pays big dividends. Wow. DeVito is irresistible. Other People's Money, rated R. Now playing at a theater near you.
I helped my dad build this place. Well, help. I was so small I could barely swing the hammer. But he taught me a lot about tools. He used to say, you can buy cheap tools every couple of years. Or you can buy Stanley once.
Since 1843, a company from New Britain, Connecticut has been helping people do things right. Stanley.
I even take my tape roll fishing. Well, that way I'll know how big a story to tell.
Your first love.
Oh, Alan.
And your first breakup.
Well, next time, mind your own business.
And how you do anything to get her back.
Alan, don't do it. You stole a jar of snails? Definitely romantic.
Remember how impressed she was?
Big deal. What am I going to do, Dad? Hugs and kisses help. What?
Brooklyn Bridge, Friday.
The Twins didn't score in the first. They got the double from Knobloch, but left him on. Now they send Jack Morris to the hill. He's trying to win his second game of this World Series. And he's 3-0 in postseason. He beat Toronto twice. Here's the lineup for the Atlanta Braves with Lonnie Smith to lead it off. Terry Pendleton at third. Ron Gant in center. David Justice in right. Number 5 hitter Sid Bream. Greg Olson catching every game to this point. Lemke at second base. Rafael Belliard at short. And you just saw John Smoltz do his thing.
Defensively for the Minnesota Twins, Dan Gladden will be the left fielder. Kirby Puckett in center field. Shane Mack will be the right fielder. Over at third this evening, Mike Pagliarulo. At shortstop, Greg Gagne. Chuck Knobloch, the second baseman. Ken Herbeck, the best in the business at first. And Brian Harper behind the plate.
So it's Lonnie Smith. He's had 1 hit in the series, 1 out of 10, and that was a home run last night. In the regular season, he hit 7 home runs. They went up there pumping against Jack Morris. Morris is 6-1 in postseason during his career, 3-0 in World Series play. Nothing new for him. A ball and a strike. Two balls and a strike.
Lonnie Smith with a very unorthodox swing. He drags the bat head through the strike zone. Bobby Cox saying before the game, with a swing like that, you can't have fear. Lonnie Smith, sure enough, he's fearless.
Now goes for 3-1. You're right on top of that plate, and it doesn't matter how hard they throw or what their approach. They cannot chase this batter off the dish. He skies it into right center. Ball for by Puckett. And Smith is retired.
Even in an offensive situation, you can see how Lonnie Smith's hands lead through the strike zone, and the barrel of the bat follows. And predictably, with that type of swing, a fly ball to right center. Lonnie, a very unusual hitter.
Well, look what Terry Pendleton has done or not done in postseason. He's 2 out of 12 against the Twins. And he struggled against the Pirates after leading the National League in hitting. At the left fielder, Gladden. 2 out. Gladden didn't realize it was going to carry that far for a moment, but he stayed with it, and there are 2 gone. Ron Gant comes up with 2 out, and the base is empty. Brian Hunter on the bench along with Keith Mitchell. Marvin Freeman in the picture on the Atlanta bench. And Mark Lemke. Braves feeling good after winning their first game of this series. Inside to Ron Gant. And 1.
Last night, Ronnie Gant 0 for 6, and that joins a rather sophisticated group, including Felix Millan, Mickey Rivers, Huey Kritz, and Travis Jackson. back a few years ago, 24 and 33.
And now Jack Morris out in front, and it looks like he doesn't want to give Ronnie Gant any fastballs to swing at.
Now that's the book on Gant. And when Morris gets ahead, he throws that splitter. We mentioned in game one, a real pioneer in that pitch. He opened the eyes of major league pitchers as to how successful you can be with that pitch.
Gant hits it to third, and a fine play by Pagliarulo as that ball stayed down. The Braves go down in order, and we have a scoreless first.
Melissa had a very busy day. She made new friends. She learned some birds can't fly, but dolphins can. And she found out what it takes to save a species. Where did she learn so much? At SeaWorld. We believe the more you know about animals, the more you'll protect them. SeaWorld is an Anheuser-Busch company, and teaching people about preserving marine life is part of our pledge and our promise.
Sparky's Big Game Wisdom.
You need delivery in the clutch. So call Domino's Pizza. They've been coming through with clutch deliveries for over 30 years.
Nobody knows like Domino's. It's Domino's Bacon Cheeseburger Pizza Feast. Ground beef, crisp bacon, and an extra layer of cheese. A medium's $8.99, two for just $12.99. Nobody knows like Domino's. How you like pizza at home?
Born of intelligent engineering. It's 100,000 ideas fused into one. It's responsive, innovative, refined. It's a driver's side airbag and anti-lock brakes. Introducing the all-new 88 Royale LS. Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering.
The Bears look really fierce. Billy, what do you know? You're just a kid. The Saints are off to an awesome start. They're going to cream them, right? Right. Not.
No score after one. We will try to show you the distinction between the slider and the curveball. From Smoltz, very distinctively different. Watch the slider to Puckett, breaking parallel to the ground. And now the curveball to Herbeck, breaking down to the ground. So you can look for that tonight, the slider and the curveball from Smoltz.
Brian Harper leads it off. And brother, did he chase a bad ball? That's not like him. He hit .311 during the year. He's 4 out of 9 in the series. And leads it off in the second. I guess he had his mind made up. He was going to swing at whatever came up there.
Sometimes if you look fastball, you'll swing at it regardless of where it is.
Now strike two. Well, I bet that gentleman has some baseball stories to tell.
Looks like there was no other place he'd want to be than right there.
One and two. Chatting with some of the Atlanta coaches, they said Harper scares them as much as anybody in this Minnesota lineup because of his very good bat control. 2-2. Coaching at third base and Ron Gardenhire. And across the way, Wayne Terwilliger. He's been around the block. And back again. Harper hits it into right center field. Justice can't get it, and it's going to be a leadoff double for Harper. That play looks strange to you, Tim, with regard to the jump?
There's a lot of hang time. I think the reason it looks strange is that Ron Gant was playing Harper into left center. Justice was straight away, and Harper hits it to the gap that's the biggest. The ball hits off the webbing of the glove. But that Brian Harper, talking about his bat control, he is a notorious two-strike hitter. He protects the outside part of the plate as he did then, and rifles one into right center. Justice couldn't catch up to it.
Second hit for the Twins. This one a leadoff double. Here's Shane Mack. He is 0 for 11. And he hit .310 during the season. Low from John Smoltz. So the Twins with a very good opportunity here in the second to get on top, as they did last night. One ball, one strike. Now this youngster doesn't want the game to last as long as last night. School tomorrow. A few kids miss school today here and around the country. 1-1 to Mack. 1-2. That's an effective pitch that John Smoltz throws.
First 7 games of the postseason, the Minnesota Twins had a .317 batting average, and last night, with runners in scoring position, they failed in 10 times at bat.
Mack is 0 for 12. And Smoltz gets his first strikeout.
Shane not only 0 for 12, but he has 6 strikeouts, and this is a darting slider from John Smoltz. Wow. That was a big play for Smoltz because Shane Mack failed to advance the runner to third.
So for all intents, it's going to take a hit by the Twins, either by Pagliarulo or Greg Gagne. Harper not a running threat. And ball one to the Minnesota third baseman. Now Pagliarulo has found a home with the Twins. Platooned for the most part with Scott Leyes at third. Ball two. Wonder how many of these folks were also here last night. Slipped one by him. They played this batter straight away in the Atlanta outfield. And none of these outfielders, Smith, Gant, or Justice, are really noted for their throwing arm. Into short left, Belliard can't get it, and the run is going to be in time, and it's 1-0 Twins. And down to second base on the throw. And Smith probably should have thrown to second. Goes Pagliarulo. A little blooper into left.
The reason Lonnie should have gone to second base is because of the jump that Brian Harper had from second base. Watch Harper. He does not look back. You have to take a chance. Trust your instincts. If Belliard somehow comes up with that ball, Harper's a dead duck. But he trusted his instincts. He scores the first run. And Pagliarulo's on at second base.
Oh, a double off the glove by Harper and a blooper into left by Pagliarulo. And Pagliarulo is at second for Gagne to pick up with one out. Strike one on the breaking pitch to Gagne, who is 2 for 11.
Watch Brian Harper. He does not look back on the single by Pagliarulo at second base. We'll have that for you momentarily.
Now Pagliarulo with a safe lead down there. Strike 2 to the batter. It's a tough luck inning thus far for Smoltz. And the Twins lead it 1-0. Dirt for the second strikeout for Smoltz, both in this inning.
This looks like the curveball. Smoltz does not throw a lot of curves, as we mentioned, to right-handed batters, but this one out of the strike zone. And Gagne is out of there. I got the feeling that Smoltz didn't care if he walked Pagliarulo. He threw him a 2-0 breaking ball, a 2-1 breaking ball. But Pagliarulo refused to be walked and dumped one into left field to score the run.
Now Jack Morris is at the plate. He hit one out in batting practice here the other day. But you wouldn't expect him to hit Smoltz. You never know.
Morris, a 157 hitter when he hit in the minor leagues. He had one at bat in the regular season back in 1987. Fly to right field. This is tough. As you could see, back on his heel. I think it's more fear than anything else. I mean, when you haven't seen a 90-mile-an-hour fastball and you got to go up in the World Series and face it, it's frightening. That little BB coming at you 90 miles an hour.
Runner at second, 2 out. And 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tom Kelly, the manager of Minnesota, doesn't like it when the designated hitter is not used. First of all, he thinks it ought to be uniform. You either have it and use it in the World Series, or don't use it at all. But he likes the DH. He doesn't like that. Morris strikes out. Smoltz struck out the side. The Twins get a run on 2 hits, and now they've left their second runner.
How can we make this more severe?
Buick's pursuit of quality never ends.
I agree with that. We're going to make it even tougher.
We need to go in with higher speeds, higher coring loads.
Because it's not perfect till it's Buick perfect.
But it's not good enough for what we want to do. So let's go with 23% hill, maximum
quality that lasts.
The anti-lock brakes allow
even after a year of use, no domestic car maker is more trouble-free than Buick.
Great work. You sure you don't want us to run some more tests?
99 models, redesigned and engineered. GM is putting quality on the road.
You're traveling through the weightless environment of Nike Air Flight. Next stop, the flight dimension. Examine, if you will, Scottie Pippen about to discover the power of his flight shoes by way of a time warp. And so, history gets a lesson in the flight dimension.
Son, you can make hundreds of dollars a year in professional basketball.
89% of business travelers don't have a fat expense account. Luckily, you'll find our rates as comfortable as our rooms. Holiday Inn. Stay with someone you know who really knows you.
Sears introduces the Die Hard Heat Handler.
I hear my battery gets baked.
Engineered to handle a heat twice as long as other high heat batteries. Die Hard Heat Handler. More power when you need it most.
Who's going to back you better than Sears?
Baseball. It's really quite a simple game. Throw the ball, hit the ball, catch the ball. But some of this game's greatest moments haven't taken place in front of thousands of fans. Like the look on a young boy's face when a legend takes time to visit a hospital. Or the entire Red Sox organization whose Jimmy Fund quietly helps sick children. Or a hometown hero who hasn't forgotten his less fortunate neighbors. Yes, baseball really is a simple game. And it's simply at its best when it's caring for others.
A message from Major League Baseball and its players.
Watch Brian Harper to the right of your screen. He's the base runner. Now he takes a calculated chance here by starting initially when Pagliarulo makes contact. Watch. He's gone. He never looks back. Had Belliard come up with that play, it's an easy double play, but Harper taking a chance, realizing the bottom part of the order is coming up, Gagne and the pitcher, and that's the time you really want to take the chance, and it paid off for Harper and the Twins.
And you're right about that, Tim. He's the sort of player who would be smart enough to be aware of the fact that the tail end of the batting order is coming up.
He's not a fast runner, but he has great instincts on the bases.
So the Braves find themselves 1 run down in the second, and it'll be Justice, Bream, and Olson against Jack Morris. Justice 4 out of 12 with a home run. Atlanta went down in order in the first. Morris gets out in front.
That was a fastball swing at a splitter. Diving out of the strike zone.
And the changeup misses. In that 5-2 opener, which the Twins won, Morris pitched 7 innings. Gave 2 runs on 5 hits, struck out 3, walked 4, and defeated Charlie Lieber. Now the folks start that chant. And Justice is in the hole. Game 5 tomorrow night, no matter who wins or loses here this evening, 8 o'clock Eastern Time with our telecast and the first pitch at 8:26 down here in Georgia. Two and two. During the season, Moore has allowed 18 home runs. Full count. One to nothing Twins on a double by Harper. And a 1-out single by Pagliarulo. From a deep short, threw him out easily. He made some plays last night, and Gagne shows the good glove work again this evening. 4 in a row by Morris.
Hey, there's talk about Greg Gagne that you have to see him every day to appreciate him. I don't know whether that's true or not. I think all you have to do is see him a couple of times and see how good he is. Great footwork. Footwork, very important to infielders, especially those on the left side who have the long throws to make.
Now Morris to Breen. Out of play. Sid is 2 for 11 in the series. Batted .300 against his former teammates, the Pirates. Two. Morris seems to pitch rather effortlessly, doesn't he?
Really stays on top. One of those guys who it looks like he strains to get on top of the ball. High fastballs and splitters.
And there's that split finger delivery, and that gives Morris his first strikeout. He's retired 5 in a row.
Not a lot of difference between the speed of the Morris fastball and the Morris split finger. And there are the split fingers right there. And talk about an aptly named pitch. Diving down out of the strike zone to get Breen.
Olson bats with the bases empty. And this fellow's been in the middle of everything. He has had 3 hits, 4 walks, all 1 to him. The Minnesota manager Tom Kelly said, "We're pitching this guy like he's Babe Ruth or something."
Yeah, it's not the hits that Olson's been getting. It's the walks that have been given up by his pitchers. He said he's a good ball player. Got to challenge him more.
That's ball 2. And with no base runners to this point. Out of play, and it's 2-1. We get a whale of a view from Airship Shamu from SeaWorld in Orlando, Florida. Three and 1 to Olson. Mentioned before, Edina, Minnesota, the hometown of this batter. He walks again. That's his 5th walk in the series. And it comes with 2 out here in the second. Mark Lemke is warmly applauded here. They know what he did last night. Sent everybody home in the 12th inning. The winning hit into left field. Switch hitter. And 2 for 8. Ball.
Lemke, known affectionately by his manager Bobby Cox, the moniker of Dirt. And Dirt did it last night. David Justice on at second base, and a little looper to left field. Dan Gladden's throw is to the dugout side, and Justice's slide is to the first base slide.
It was not a very good throw from Gladden in left. Harper made a good effort at the plate. Just missed tagging Lemke. Otherwise, we'd still be here playing game 3.
Yeah, Dirt did it last night. It's a good name. That's it. Only in baseball can you have a name like Dirt and have it be a compliment.
Pat Corrales, the first base coach of Atlanta, says this little guy, Lemke, just wears me out. I can't hit enough fungos to keep him happy. Strokes it into left center, and it gets down. And Olson back to second base. Lemke gets another hit. That's his third. They certainly played deep in that Minnesota outfield.
Yeah, too deep. Kirby Puckett plays about as deep a center field as you can play, and of course, with 2 outs and a runner at first, you want to play too deep, but you got to modify that somewhat. This ball with enough hang time, and it could have been caught. Olson rounding second. With 2 outs, he decides to stop. That's what you do. You run through the bag and not to the bag. Make your decision after you turn. With 2 outs, no way you take a chance to go to third. So Dirt did it again.
2-out walk. Single by Lemke, and Belliard is up. And Jack Morris gets out in front. Belliard is 2 for 6. With a couple of runs batted in. Puckett is still playing very deep. Right fielder is cheating in. 2 on, 2 out. Into right field, and Shane Mack is right there to take the foul ball and end the inning. Atlanta leads 2, and after 2, they trail 1-0.
I'm a big man.
Why do so many men stick with Bic?
I'm a big man.
Because there's a Bic for every beard. Bic Regular, a great shave at a great price.
I'm a big man.
Bic Sensitive, Bic Baby's tender skin. Bic Metal, slim head, total control.
Yeah, I'm a big man.
I'm a big man.
Regular, sensitive, metal.
I'm a big man.
Introducing the Goodyear Buy 3, Get the 4th Tire free sale. Buy 3 Goodyear all-season radials, and you'll get the 4th tire free. Come on in before they all disappear.
The Allstate agent who helps insure your home can give you a hand with a plan for life insurance. Your Allstate agent wants to be your agent for life. Allstate Life. Financial strength you can count on.
On a hot West Texas desert, something was done that was never done before. The stock engine in this ZR1 Corvette broke a 14-year-old Mercedes record, running 28 straight hours, averaging 173 miles per hour. The big surprise, however, is that the engine designed for every Chevy is tested to even tougher durability standards. With 99 models redesigned and engineered, GM is putting quality on the road.
Hello, boys. He's back with a new generation of Dylans.
I don't want to lose you.
But vigilantes are running wild, and Dylan's got to bring them in.
How you want to take it? Straight on.
James Arness stars in the world premiere movie.
Got any preference? Prefer you didn't miss.
Gunsmoke 3 to the Last Man, Sunday.
CBS Sports coverage of Game 4 of the 1991 World Series is brought to you by General Motors. GM is putting quality on the road. Magnavox, smart choices for smart people. The ingenious products from Magnavox. They're smart, very smart. And by IBM, whatever your size, whatever your needs, IBM is working to bring you the best solutions.
We roll into the third inning. Twins 3 hits, Atlanta 1. Atlanta just left a couple of runners. Twins got a leadoff double by Harper and a 1-out single by Pagliarulo to take the lead. Beautiful evening down here in Dixie. Full moon. Full moon and a full ballpark. And the top of the order for the Twins. Dan Gladden comes up against John Smoltz. Gladden grounded to short to start this game. High in the air for Gant. And 1 out. Minnesota's second baseman, Chuck Knobloch, had a wasted double in the first inning. There's Jimmy Williams, the coach, moving the defense around along with Jim Beecham, who just walked by the picture. Knobloch is chased off the plate. He's had 5 out of 12 here in series play.
That's one of the prices you have to pay when you're a good hitter. Chuck will get used to that his first year. Odds-on favorite to be the Rookie of the Year in the American League.
Another one for Gant. 4 in a row retired by John Smoltz.
This franchise, by the way, speaking of Rookies of the Year, has produced 5. Originally the Washington Senators, and back in 1958, Albie Pearson was the Rookie of the Year, followed by Bob Allison in 59, Tony Oliva in 64, there they are, Rod Carew in 67, and John Castino in 1979. The last 3 rookies, Oliva, Carew, and Castino, all with the Minnesota Twins.
Puckett is up, fly deep to right his first time, and takes a strike. Kirby 1 for 13. That's not like him. 319 hitter during the season. Strike 2.
Tom Kelly saying that Kirby Puckett can get 10 hits faster than any player in the major leagues. Lightning fast. And sure enough, in the ALCS, 0 for his first 6, then 8 for his next 14.
Just got a piece of that one, cut the stroke down. He's had 1 hit and 13 at-bats, and that hit was a home run here last night. He is from Chicago. Count 1-2. This Puckett has unusual dimensions, but he is strong, and he is built like a rock. Short, quick stroke. Take a look from upstairs for a moment, and a hard hit ball past Pendleton. That'll be a hit for Kirby with 2 out. Looked like it went under his glove.
After a lot of breaking balls, there's a situation where if you're John Smoltz, you just have to give a hitter credit. Did go under the diving Pendleton's glove. You remember Terry is nursing that sore left knee that he sprained. He will have that operated on after the season. But after a bevy of sliders, Puckett hammering that fastball by Smoltz.
Herbeck rounded out his first time. He's 3 out of 13. Ball 1 to him. Herbeck batting the number 4 spot tonight. Is Herbeck pulling our leg?
He pulled Ron Gant's leg off the bag in game 2. That was the thing to which Jack was referring earlier.
1-1. Puckett is taking a very conservative lead at first, being held by Sid Bream. He stole 11 bases during the season.
I don't think Kirby will try to run until the count is 1-2 on Herbeck. Anytime there's a favorable hitting situation, I think Puckett will stay there.
Herbeck pops it up for Belliard. The Twins have left 3, but they have a 1-0 lead. We'll return to Atlanta-Fulton County Stadium after this message and a word from your local station.
She was the victim of a brutal attack. But what if someone tried again? Bill's neighbor decided to pick a fight. He didn't know Bill was getting it all on videotape. He knows now. People fed up and fighting back. 48 Hours returns next Wednesday.
She's coming back to CBS. The Carol Burnett Show premieres Friday, November 1st.
This is CBS.
Speed is a God-given thing. The way to say thank you is to push it to the limit. I'm used to guys being bigger and stronger, so I work at being quicker and faster. For the NBA, I look like a little guy, but I know this. You can't beat what you can't catch.
Here's a taste we guarantee you'll love. With lean pastrami, melted Swiss. You're gonna love the new pastrami melt at Jack in the Box, or your money back, guaranteed.
This is the only breakfast sandwich I know that's on grilled sourdough. And that's all I need to know.
Only Jack in the Box puts a fresh egg, ham, and melting cheese on grilled sourdough. The new sourdough breakfast sandwich.
The greatest empire mankind has ever seen. And it still is. Caesar's Palace. Relive the legend.
Channel 2's playoff post-game show tonight after the game.
The Twins have had hits in each of the 3 innings, and they lead 1-0. Herbeck by a foul from Vanna. They're having some good-natured fun with the Twins' first baseman. John Smoltz had 7 hits during the year. Strike 1 to him from Jack Morris.
When John Smoltz was growing up in the shadows of Tiger Stadium in Detroit, he used to go watch Jack Morris pitch. Here he is facing him in a World Series.
And taking 2 strikes.
Matter of fact, Smoltz signed with the Tigers initially and came to the Atlanta Braves in '87 for Doyle Alexander.
One and 2. It'll be Smoltz and then Lonnie Smith and Terry Pendleton. Braves have a hit and a walk thus far. It's 2-2. Smoltz started off like he was going to be a pretty good hitter, but they found ways to get him out, and he had 7 hits during the season. And they get him, and Morris gets his second strikeout. Let's turn things over to Pat O'Brien.
All right, Jack, thank you for what's become our regular chat with the commissioner. Good evening. The whole country seems to be talking about last night's game. What did the commissioner of baseball think about it?
Well, I was delighted to be here. It was a wonderful game, and I had a pretty good seat.
Without the DH, it was a chess match there, and you're in favor of, as a traditionalist, getting rid of the DH. Do you have any support for that?
Well, not much. I thought last night was really the great argument in favor of eliminating the DH.
Why?
Because of all the maneuvering, the managing, the
strategy. I thought it was just wonderful.
Who ordered up this weather tonight?
CBS.
Chatting with the commissioner. Back to you.
And Lonnie Smith, strike one. Thanks, Pat. Since the DH in the World Series, pitchers have hit in 44 games with the DL.
DH coming about in 1973.
Lonnie Smith chases the ball, and he's out on strikes. The third strikeout for Jack Morris. Yeah, pitchers don't hit very much in the World Series.
Well, and obviously you wouldn't see that type of game in a park that has the DH, in an American League park. Like last night, not nearly as much strategy is involved, and that's what the commissioner was implying.
Yeah, we'd have never seen a game like that in the American League where they have the designated hitter.
23 players used by the Minnesota Twins. That's a record. 42 players used by both teams. That's a record.
Morris is in a groove. Strike one to Pendleton, who lined out to left his first time. And he is 2 out of 13. Jack Morris is right tonight.
Jack Morris working on 3 days rest. He did it once in the League Championship Series, but only once during the regular season.
2 balls and a strike.
And if this series goes 7 games, he will be the pitcher in Game 7 on Sunday night. And there are the starts on 3 days rest. You see the Minnesota Twins, Morris and Tapani, the only guys during the season, but the Atlanta Braves, Smoltz with 5, Avery with 4, and Glavine with 4, working on 3 days rest.
Count goes to 3-1 to Pendleton.
There's a guy who never gets a rest. He caught the last 32 meaningful games. I say meaningful because when the Braves clinched the next to the last day of the season, Olson didn't catch on that Sunday, but he's caught about every inning in the postseason play.
Pendleton hits it very well, and it carries out into right center. Tied. Third hit of the series. Gant corks a base hit to left.
Instead of the chop shop, they're going to have to call this the lift shop. Watch Terry Pendleton lift this 3-1 fastball out of the ballpark.
We'll take a base hit look off the bat of Ron Gant. That's the third hit of the night for Atlanta.
And by the way, the first postseason home run ever for Terry Pendleton. This is his 3rd World Series.
And that tied the game here in the 3rd inning. And a big threat to run. And Justice, the batter, ball 1 to him. David Justice fan. It's a fervor here in Atlanta. The runner going in the dirt and no play.
Tommy Lasorda said before the game that the Braves had to start opening things up. They did it last night because Justice stole in the 12th inning. That allowed him to score on the single by Lemke. That's only their second stolen base of the series. And there are a lot of advocates in a situation like that. Why steal and take the hole away? But with 2 outs, what's the difference? I mean, if he hits the ball in the hole, you got runners at first and third and 2 outs. I say go for it. If you can steal the base, go for it. Anytime.
First stolen base in the series for Gant. In the dirt, and Gant heads for third, and no throw. Wild pitch.
Split finger, and you could see the split fingers in the dirt. The ball gets away from Harper, and look at the instincts of Ron Gant. Diving into third without a play.
And with 2 out, Harper wisely held the ball. Gant at third with 2 gone, and a 3-0 count to Justice, and folks, he's swinging. Taking ball 4. Second walk by Morris. Well, this started out like an easy hit.
And the one thing to keep in mind right now, if you're Brian Harper, do you call the fork ball from a pitcher who threw 15 wild pitches this year? That led the American League. 15 wild pitches. This puts an awful lot of pressure on a catcher with a runner at third base and 2 outs. We'll see if he goes to the fork ball here with Breen batting. Fastball here, away.
Outside, ball 1. First and third, 2 out, 1-1 game, third inning. Kelly looks on. Morris struck out the pitcher Smoltz, struck out Lonnie Smith on 3 pitches.
Another fastball away to Breen.
Ball 2. And Herbeck will visit, so will the catcher, Brian Harper. And so will the pitching coach. Dick Such joins the group.
See, you saw Ron Gant stealing second base, and we talked about holding the runner at first base. Now you don't send the runner at first because the hole will produce a run. With 2 outs and just a runner at first base, leaving the hole open wouldn't produce a run. All it would do would be to move the runner to third base. But now with runners at first and third, you stop the runner at first. That produces the hole in that area. You can see Knobloch playing deep, Herbeck holding, Justice. So the hole is open, and you don't send the runner now.
2 balls, no strikes to count to Sid Breen. And he rolls one back to the pitcher, who makes the unassisted put out, and the inning is over. Atlanta gets a run to tie it. They leave 2, they've left 4, we played 3, and it's 1-1.
IBM presents You Make the Call. With a runner on first, a bunt is popped up but dropped by the pitcher, who throws to first base. The fielder steps on the base and then tags the runner who did not advance. Is it a double play? You make the call.
To celebrate the 10th anniversary of the IBM PC, you've got to know the ropes, because it deserves a big production. So you set the stage with rebates on a star-studded cast of PS2s. Go head over heels with a choice of amazing software. Then bring down the house with prices that really take the cake. It's the only way to thank everyone who played a part. Join the celebration. Call for an IBM dealer nearest you.
Because the fielder stepped on first base before tagging the runner may return to the base. In this case, he never left. If you said that only the batter is out, you made the right call.
Last year, the average price of a car with standard anti-lock brakes was over $40,000. But today, all that's changed. Because we understand the real value of safety. We put anti-lock brakes standard on more models than anyone. Even on our least expensive Cavalier. Chevrolet.
The heartbeat of America.
The cars more people depend on.
That's today's Chevrolet.
It's going to be a good week to keep in touch.
Remember the day at the ballpark when I hit the ball and ran and slid in the mud and I was thick mud?
You had a crush on my brother?
Oh, she reminds me so much of you.
This is AT&T Reunion Week, and it's just 11 cents a minute for an out-of-state call. Anywhere in the U.S. from 5 to 11 p.m. So what are you waiting for?
Hey, all right.
Just 11 cents a minute to reach anyone, anywhere, all week.
You are watching the World Series on CBS.
This game summary is sponsored by AT&T.
Mike Pagliarulo drove home the first run of the game. Terry Pendleton's first ever postseason home run tied it. The Twins have left 3, and Atlanta is now stranded 4. Terry Pendleton tied it up after the Twins took the lead in the second. Brian Harper leads it off. He has scored the Minnesota run. Ball 1. Fly ball for Lonnie Smith, perhaps. And he couldn't get it. It's a base hit for Harper. That's his second of the night.
Lonnie Smith didn't get a good jump on that ball. He broke back to his left and then in. And those precious steps that you take early are often the difference between making the catch and not. You see him breaking to his left and back. There was a slight hesitation, and he has to dive for the ball and misses it. Another hit for Harper.
Another hit is right. He has 2 tonight and 6 out of 11 in the series. A good play there by Greg Olson.
Nice try by Lonnie Smith, but he is not a good defensive left fielder. A little late break, and Gant backing up to hold Harper to a single.
Harper doubled off the glove of Justice on a ball that might have been caught, and he singles in front of Lonnie Smith. Shane Mack struggling to get his first hit in the World Series. Struck out his first time, and he is 0 for 12. The Twins would like to be able to say that Mack is back in town, but he hasn't been able to do anything. It's the second time in the game the Twins have put their leadoff man on base. 2-1. Gardenhire flashes the signs. Sometimes when a fella has trouble hitting, such as Shane Mack, they put the hit and run on to try to help him stay on the ball.
That's right.
Runner not going. And a half swing. And that's ball 3.
The reason that the hit and run with a struggling hitter is a good play is because when you hit and run, you have to make sure that you make contact. You don't try to do too much with the bat. You don't overswing. You just put the ball in play. It's just like a golf swing. It's a game of half swings.
Smoltz has allowed 5 base hits.
Well, the option facing Tom Kelly now. Do you send the runner with the batter who has struck out 6 times in 12 at-bats in this series? Harper is not a fast runner. Mack swings through a lot of pitches. He has already struck out once tonight.
Runner not going. And a ground ball to Belliard. They get one. That's all. Now Mack is 0 for 13, and he runs the bases.
13 stolen bases during the regular season. Brian Harper with a hard slide into Mark Lemke at second base. Clean and hard. You have to be able to touch the bag. You see him go after him with the feet and watch him come back with a bag. All you have to do when you slide at second is touch the bag, be able to touch the bag, and that's why you saw Harper, even though it wasn't that important, he was already out, but he made the umpire make sure that he saw his hand touch the bag.
Now Mack, who's a bigger threat to run with Pagliarulo up there, draws the throw. Pagliarulo drove it a run in the second with a blooper into left. And Smoltz gets ahead on the count. At the conclusion of this evening's game, Tim McCarver and I will select the Chevrolet Most Valuable Player of the game. Chevrolet will donate $1,000 on the player's behalf to the Special Olympics. Last night it was Mark Lemke. Runner going and a perfect hit and run single. And they challenge Lonnie Smith, and he wisely throws into second base. Pagliarulo is 2 for 2, and the Twins have a big threat going with one out.
I tell you, Jack, that's exactly what we were talking about. Mike Pagliarulo not trying to do too much with the pitch. The head was right on the ball when the ball made contact with the bat. And he just hits look at that swing right there. The head down, and it trickles through on the left side. Shortstop covering on the play, as Pagliarulo is more of a pull hitter, especially with the hole open. But a fine piece of hitting by Mike Pagliarulo on the hit and run.
And Lonnie Smith did the right thing. First and third, one out. The batter, Gagne. And ball one. Gagne a strikeout victim in the second inning.
With the pitcher coming up next, the hitter, Gagne already with a 3-run homer, but he struck out his first time up. It's a squeeze situation right here.
So we'll watch Shane Mack, the runner at third. That's ball two.
The one thing you don't want to do if the squeeze is on and you're the runner at third base, you don't want to break too soon. Eddie Stanky, who was a terrific baseball man for many, many years, used to say that the best technique, if you're the runner at third, is to take one step back toward the bag. That keeps you from breaking too soon. If you break too soon, the pitcher will pitch out or knock the hitter down. Tom Kelly talking to Jack Morris just in case Gagne walks and he's up there hitting with the bases loaded.
And Gagne makes the count 2-1. The runner at third is Shane Mack. Reached out a fielder's choice. Pagliarulo's 2 for 2. They run the bases with one out in the fourth of a 1-1 game. Squeeze play, and they missed it. They've got Mack, and he's out. The other runner down to second.
So you gave Gagne one pop on the 2-0 pitch. Look at Mack at third base. He doesn't break too fast. The pitch is a slider low and away, and Mack's a dead duck. He slips, the tag is made, and on the play, Pagliarulo moves to second. You see Mack not leaving too soon. That's the technique. He did his job. Gagne didn't make contact.
It's tough to bunt that pitch low and away like that.
Out of the strike zone, yeah.
Now the runner down to second base with 2 out.
Now you want to be careful with Morris on deck and 2 out and a runner in scoring position.
2-2 pitch. And Gagne got a good swing at that one. Too good.
John Smoltz got away with a mistake there. With Jack Morris on deck and the go-ahead run on second base, you really have to be careful to Gagne.
Twins about hit the Braves 6-3. We're tied 1-1 in the 4th. Struck him out for the second time on a ball in the dirt. Out at first, and the inning is over. 2 hits, but only 1 left. The Twins have left 4. We're tied.
Kinder? Gentler? No way.
Like a rock, I was strong as I could be. Like a rock, nothing ever got to me.
Chevy S10 pickup, powered by the biggest V6 available. Chevy trucks.
Like a rock,
The trucks you can depend on. The trucks that last.
like a rock.
That game started like every other one I've played with.
11-8.
11-7, Dad.
Yeah, whatever. She actually said yes?
He was trying for an edge.
Huh? Yeah. Same woman the rest of your life.
Trying to rattle me.
Mortgage, kids, nervous? Uh-huh. You look nervous.
And it was working.
Kids? So, who's going to be your best man?
Now it was my turn.
I don't know. I thought maybe, you. Me? Oh, bingo!
Only one beer has the taste as genuine as the people who drink it.
What do you mean you'll get back to me?
Budweiser.
I'm just kidding.
You had me. I know I had you.
I had you out there.
Some call them crimes of passion. Others call it good lust gone bad. Premiering November 7th on CBS Late Night. Silk Stockings. It's too hot to sleep.
1-1 ball game, bottom of the 4th. The squeeze in order here. Watch the pitch in that area. And Gagne swinging through it, or bunting through it. And this is Shane Mack at third, and the pitcher. And watch how Mack waits until the ball is about to be released to break. See, Mack, all he can do is break. Obviously, he can't do anything about laying the ball down. So he broke at the right time, but Gagne just didn't make contact. And a squeeze play that didn't work.
A couple of times, Tim, during recent spring trainings, I've stood in there at the plate against a pitching machine programmed to throw sliders low and away. Man, you can't touch that ball. I couldn't.
Some pitchers think that that's the best pitch to throw in a bunting situation because it keeps going away from the hitter.
Now Olsen. He's frequently been in the middle of things in this postseason for the Braves, against the Pirates and against the Twins, and he walked his first time. He's had 3 hits, 5 walks. Count is even, 1-1. Atlanta's left 4. Let's join Jim Cott right here.
Well, the big question with the pitchers coming back on short rest is, will their fastball be as good? So far through this part of the game, Jack Morris's fastball is right there with what it was in game 1, upper 80s, low 90s.
Olsen is called out. That's the 4th strikeout for the Minnesota hurler. Olsen walks away shaking his head.
Jim, I know you are an advocate of a four-man staff. You're a guy who always pitched with 3 days rest, and it was your line that it'll rust out before it'll wear out.
Well, you got that right. I think what it does more than anything for you, Tim, is you're sharper, and you economize your pitches. You don't throw as many balls.
A strike to Lemke.
I think Bobby Cox getting 141 starts out of 4 guys this year, about as close to a four-man staff as any team in baseball.
I know that managers are very interested in protecting young pitchers, but if trained properly, I think that's so overrated, the extra day's rest. A lot of pitchers don't know what to do with that extra day. They'd rather pitch you the 4th day.
They're too strong, right?
Count has gone to 2 balls and a strike on Lemke, who continued his hitting, getting a single in the 2nd. Hitting him up the middle as he bats and takes ball 3. Home half of the 4th, 1-1 game. Bobby Cox told us that he had 14 people living at his house during the World Series.
That's why he likes to get to the ballpark early.
14 folks. So he's out here about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Three-two foul.
First World Series as a manager for Bobby Cox. He was a coach, however, for the 1977 Yankees. Played the Dodgers, beaten by Tommy Lasorda in his first year. Actually, the Yankees won. That's right, the Yankees won in 77-78.
Lemke gets another hit. He's 2 for 2. And a good, well, I'm about to say a good play by Puckett, but Lemke with 1 out gets to second. It's probably a hit and an error.
Even had Kirby come up with that ball, I believe that Lemke would have tried to go to second base with the bottom of the order coming up. Spanked sharply into right center field. And Puckett a little indecision there. Looked like he thought that Shane Mack had a shot at it, but obviously the glove and the ball is on his glove side. So that was clearly Puckett's ball.
They give him a double.
I think that's pretty good scoring. I think Lemke tries it anyway and probably makes it.
Now Belliard has a chance for the go-ahead RBI. With 1 out. Into left field, there's Gladden. 2 out. But that double by Lemke is valuable even if the Braves do not score here, because the pitcher's coming up now, and that means that Lonnie Smith would lead off the next inning.
Yeah, you clear the pitcher, and that's one thing that the Minnesota Twins didn't do, because Jack Morris is leading off the 5th inning.
And has already led left 4. This batter, Smoltz, drove in 3 runs during the season. He's big enough to hit the ball, but he struck out his first time.
There are a lot of guys big that can't swing a lick. One of the greatest athletes really that this country's ever seen, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I've seen him take batting practice at Dodger Stadium. You talk about a bad swing. He was a great basketball player, but a bad hitter.
That's right, too. Two to Smoltz. Lemke at second, 2 out. Smoltz hits 1, 2, not blocked. And we're tied at the end of 4, 1-1.
You know what's smart? This Magnavox digital CD shelf system that's incredibly powerful, compact, but what's really smart is this Magnavox 8mm Easy Cam that weighs less than 2 pounds. But what's really brilliant is this 13-inch TV with a built-in VCR. But what's ingenious is this 31-inch with a smart window that lets you see other channels and swap the picture. You know what's smart? This Magnavox digital CD... Again. Go away.
The ingenious products from Magnavox. They're smart, very smart.
got something precious to carry, this is one way to do it. Here's another. Chevy Lumina Euro Sedan. Engineered with four-wheel independent suspension and standard anti-lock brakes. It's one way to help make sure your precious cargo is delivered safely. The cars more people depend on. Chevy Lumina. Family Circle's Domestic Family Car of the Year for the second straight year.
Fans, this is Mel Allen. This year's World Series promises to continue a tradition of great moments and great memories. Get all the excitement of the Fall Classic on the 1991 World Series, the official home video. To order for $19.95 plus $4 shipping, send check or money order to this address, or use your Visa or MasterCard and call 1-800-537-8900. That's 1-800-537-8900.
Furnished by Major League Baseball.
Tied at 1, go to the top of the 5th. A lot of discussion about Kirby Puckett playing deep in center field. Tim, one of the reasons when you break into your career in the Metrodome, you learn to play deep because it's so difficult to pick up the ball, but it has its penalties, as we've seen in this series. You play too deep, as Kirby does, and you allow hitters like Olson to get the double you referred to. He has tried to play a little shallower than that. Another look at the double by Lemke that he couldn't cut off. Combination of not being able to find that comfort zone in playing shallow enough, and also from his earlier years, even though he is still Minnesota's best player, he has lost a step.
Now Belliar throws out Jack Morris to start the 5th inning of this 1-1 game.
He may have lost a step in the outfield, Kitty, but he hasn't lost a step at home plate, has he?
You got that right.
There is Kirby. Anybody gets on, he'll bat in this inning. Get around to the top of the order. And Gladden walking to the platter. A lot of times a manager or coach, Tim, will move an outfielder in. They look up a moment later and he's right back where he was. They get in that habit of playing in a particular spot.
Habit, and their field of vision becomes the same. They want to see as much as they can, and the deeper they play, the more they see, but it could be too deep at the same time. That fear of going back on a ball. A lot of outfielders have it.
Strike 1 to Gladden, who's 0 for 2. And it's 3 out of 14. Under the short, fly to center. For Gant in center field for the second out. Full house and a comfortable crowd here. This is sweater weather down here in Atlanta. 2 outs in the top of the 5th.
This is sweat weather, too, judging from that game last night and a 1-1 game here in the 5th.
It's a tight one tonight, and Knobloch has doubled. That was wasted in the 1st, and then he flied to center. He's had 5 hits in the series. And in the postseason, he's had 12 hits. So he's not hitting like a rookie. Top of the order will be up for Atlanta in the home half of the 5th. Out of play, 1 and 2.
One thing about Knobloch that impresses you is he's not overwhelmed by the major leagues. He's not overwhelmed by postseason play. And once your ability is established, that's the most important thing. Knowing you can play here. World of confidence in that young man.
And only 1 home run this year, so he knows what he wants to do up there at the plate. And at 281. Two and 2.
Speaking of confidence, Jack Llewellyn, who is a psychologist, has been working with John Smoltz the second half of the season and really bolstered the right-hander's confidence, that's for sure.
And another strikeout for Smoltz. Down in order go the Twins for the first time, and we're still tied.
It's not just a car, it's your freedom.
You know, most people don't know when to start checking their shocks.
One thing to watch out for, they'll wear out faster if you carry heavy loads or drive on bad roads.
And it isn't just a matter of comfort. Bad shocks can mean bad handling, too.
These GM Goodwrench shocks come with a warranty. The warranty is good for as long as you own your GM car or truck.
See Mr. Goodwrench wherever you see these signs.
We're giving the competition a run for their money on price, too.
You came, I was alone. I should have known you were temptation. You smiled, luring me on. My heart was gone. You were temptation.
The tempting taste of McDonald's alluring Quarter Pounder with cheese. Add fries and a Coke for an irresistible deal. The Quarter Pounder with cheese extra value meal at McDonald's today.
Temptation, I am yours.
The Rothmans' brand new family room is there because a State Farm agent was there with a family insurance checkup. You see, State Farm agents keep in touch to help keep your car, your home, and your life insurance up to date. Just a month after we added more coverage on the Rothmans' home and its contents, it was devastated by a fire. But thanks to our checkup, the coverage was there, and for the Rothmans, it made all the difference.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
It's not on HBO. It's not on the Disney Channel. You won't find it on MTV. Or on video. It's definitely not on any other network. And it's not on yet. The best television in November is on CBS.
Minnesota has out-hit Atlanta 6-4. Atlanta has stranded 5. Batter Lonnie Smith 0 for 2. Ball 1 from Jack Morris.
That's the Jane to whom that banner was referring, I assume.
And ball 2.
I guess she's cold.
Lonnie's only hit in this series. A home run.
Well, Ted Turner and the Atlanta Braves, a lot of fan support this year, and you just saw an example of that.
Jack Morris wanted that call. It goes to 3-0. Former President Jimmy Carter seated alongside Ted Turner. And this is Carter. And a strike. Smith, Pendleton, and Gant in this inning. Base hit to the left by Lonnie Smith. Gladden gets it back in.
Only the second hit in this series by Lonnie Smith. A fastball, again a 3-1 count. Pendleton hit a home run on the 3-1 count, and now Lonnie Smith on the 3-1 count. That's when a pitcher has to come in with a fastball. Lonnie stops it first.
That marks the first time in 5 innings Atlanta's put the leadoff man on. Here's Pendleton. He lined out to left, and he homered to right center. Lonnie a threat to run, not going. Bobby Cox, the manager of the Braves, tells us that these runners have the green light most of the time. takes ball 2. Kelly, and he has his third baseman, Tagliarulo, playing way in tight as they hold against Smith at first. There goes the runner. He missed a step, but he's safe.
Stolen bases against Jack Morris this year. There were only 8 caught stealing, and a fine jump by Lonnie Smith. His feet go one way, his helmet goes the other way, and Lonnie with his first stolen base, and he almost slides off the bag. You may have been watching the National League Championship Series when on a play like that, he slid across the bag, and a tag was made by Jay Bell, the Pirates shortstop.
They call him skates. He has difficulty controlling his body. Pendleton drills one to deep center. Lonnie Smith is going to head for third. Nobody out. They're sending him home. A late throw by Knobloch and out! Harper held the ball. Pendleton ends up at third. What excitement on that one, and I'm surprised they sent him with nobody out.
That was a terrible base running play by Lonnie Smith. You don't tag up on a ball hit deep over the outfielder's head. You go a third of the way. We talked about it in last night's game. Lonnie Smith tags up, and now the ball goes over the head of Kirby Puckett, and he's got 180 feet to run, and he's out on a brilliant play by Brian Harper. Watch the short hop, and now holding on to it. How in the world did Harper ever hold on to this ball? My goodness. Smith like a middle linebacker plowing into Harper. Boy,
that's hard ball.
And bad base running by Lonnie Smith. If you now, we'll take our time on this. On a play like that, if you go halfway with nobody out, then you're off too far to get back to second, to tag up and go to third. You go a third of the way. If Puckett makes the catch, then you go to third. Wow. Wow. We saw Dan Gladden get nail Greg Olson, the catcher in game 1. And now Lonnie Smith plowing into Brian Harper. And you won't see 2 trains meet as hard as those 2. Wow.
Now the runner at third in the infield in, and ball 1 to Gant. That put out at the plate went 8-4. Strong throw by Knobloch, 2. And Pendleton ended up at third. I was really surprised with nobody out and Gant coming up that Jimmy Williams saved.
It's not Williams' fault, it's Lonnie Smith. That ball would have nailed you too, Jack.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Timmy, as a former catcher, I don't know how you view that slide. I know Jack Morris had some words with Lonnie Smith as he walked away as if he thought it was a cheap shot, but it just looked like good hard ball from here.
He's trying to knock the ball out of Harper's glove. I still don't know how Harper held on to the ball. The in-between hop, the toughest to hold on to. But no, I don't think that's a cheap shot. I mean,
Harper blocked the plate. He said, "Come get me."
There's no place to go.
Exactly. Well, Harper will fool you because he doesn't have that catcher's body, but he's very wiry, 6'2", over 200 pounds.
Lonnie Smith has more of a catcher's body than Brian Harper.
2 balls and a strike to Gant. 3-1.
That's all they put on Lonnie Smith after that play is a little old Band-Aid. Man. Blood all over his towel. That was about as tough a collision as you'll see in a baseball game.
Pendleton at third, 1 out. Infield in, 3-1 to Gant. Score tied, 1-1, 5th inning. That's the 3rd walk by Jack Morris. By the way, they ruled Pendleton a double. Now the third walk by Morris, first and third, one out.
Kirby Puckett getting the carom off the fence was the key to that play. He got the carom cleanly. The relay throw was perfect, but the short hop by Brian Harper, I can't tell you folks how tough it is to hold on to a ball on an in-between hop. Short hops are not that tough, and a hop that bounces right around the chest is not that tough. But when a catcher with that catcher's mitt gets that in-between hop, and then you got a guy like Lonnie Smith plowing into you, and to still hold on to the ball, here it is once more. Watch how he cradles the ball. Oh, man.
He took a pasting. First and third, one out. The batter, David Justice, 0 for 1 with a walk. And a threat to run. And a foul ball. Here's more from Jim Cott.
Yeah, Jack and Tim, I think, again, that double is an indication of the Twins playing in an outdoor stadium away from the Metrodome. Kirby Puckett misjudged that ball just a touch. It carried, it jumped as it does here in Atlanta. Not accustomed to that in the indoor stadium.
Barry Leach warming up in the bullpen. Tom Kelly trying to get through this fifth inning time. And a fake throw to third, which you can do.
I think Jack Morris, an indication of how the Twins play on the road this year. He was 13-3 at the Metrodome and 5-9 on the road.
It was very interesting on that trick move by the pitcher Morris. Gant was going back to first all the while, so he was looking for it. It's up to Justice here. Here comes the runner trying to score. He is out. Pendleton is tagged out on another great play by Brian Harper. That's a difficult base running play for that runner. He doesn't know how far away it's going to go. Gant ends up at second, 2 out.
You can put a caption on this inning. Just call it Harper's Bizarre. 2 bizarre plays by Brian Harper. I mean, this is an unbelievable performance by a guy they claim can't catch. Unbelievable.
Larry Tata calling the play. Pendleton knew that he had misjudged the distance on that ball. The count is 1-1 to Justice with 2 out. They've had a single, a double, a walk, and 2 players out at the plate. 2 balls and a strike to David.
2 players out at the plate that could have been at third base with less than 2 outs with the meat of the order coming up. It's going to be tough for the Braves to recover from this inning unless Justice can get a big 2-out hit here.
It could be the base had loaded, nobody out,
right,
instead of a runner second and 2 out. Justice pops it up into short left. Gladden is there. And the Braves do not score. We have played 5 and we are deadlocked. We'll return to Atlanta-Fulton County Stadium after this message and a word from your local station.
How so fast? I could turn out the light in the bedroom and be in bed before the room got dark. See, life is hard, but it's a lot harder when you're stupid. I like a full-figured lady like you, honey. That way, if we lose the house, we can live in your bloomers. Well, when you're knocking on the gates of heaven, you better stay on good terms with the doorman.
This is CBS.
We didn't look at it like everyone else. That was too confining. Instead, we opened up the Infiniti G20 with a luxurious cabin-forward design and the exhilaration of a 140 horsepower engine. It's designed to give you breathing room and take your breath away, all at the same time.
For his 50th anniversary, Carl thought he'd really spice things up, so he created, wow, the Southwestern cheeseburger with a green chili, grilled onions, and cayenne sauce. Sure, it's a little hot, a little spicy, a little challenging, but hey, Carl saw this coming. That's why he's giving you this cool, creamy, heat-seeking...
Heat-seeking?
Yes, heat-seeking cheesecake. Free when you buy a regular-sized soft drink, some not-so-regular Crisp Cuts, and the Southwestern cheeseburger. Pretty hot combo, only at Carl's Jr. Psst, the cheesecake's free.
Time after time, vintage clothing of Hollywood. Are you saving what you'd hoped since leaving AT&T? Prop Masters Incorporated of Burbank. Are you having more trouble getting faxes through on the first try? We want you back. AT&T Pro Watts. A discount plan that gives you very competitive prices. Switch now and get 1 month of long distance free. Los Angeles, we want you back. Call 1-800-222-0400.
Channel 2's playoff post-game show tonight after the game.
Still 1-1 in the 6th inning. Kirby Puckett's throw with Lonnie Smith on second was perfect to Chuck Knobloch. The throw, the in-between hop, smothered by Harper, and now Harper smothered by Smith, and I still do not know how he held on to the ball. Have you ever seen a collision that violent in postseason play, Jack, or any time?
Yeah, the first thing you think about is that Pete Rose, Ray Fosse All-Star collision, but even that one didn't measure up to this one. That's the greatest collision I've ever seen, and here's Puckett leading it off in the 6th against Smoltz. 1-1, and the Twins were really fortunate to get out of that half inning. It was a double, a single, a stolen base, a double, a walk, a wild pitch, and the Braves didn't score. They get Puckett for the first out in the 6th. Well, next Sunday there'll be more action, such as that play at home plate. The NFL, Sunday, 12:30 Eastern Time. The Bears at undefeated New Orleans. San Francisco travels to Philadelphia to take on the tough Eagles defense. The 4 o'clock games, Dallas at Detroit, Minnesota at Phoenix. All of that next Sunday with this quartet kicking it off at 12:30 Eastern. The batter is Ken Herbeck. Foul ball, strike 1. If the Braves lose this game, they will be looking at the home half of the 5th for a long time. Now the play by Herbeck. Smoltz still holding 4th here. Strike 2.
Really tough on a guy like John Smoltz. I mean, here's a young pitcher, 23 years old, and he saw what happened in the bottom of the 5th. He realizes his team could be up 3 or 4 to 1, but it's still tied, and he's still as impassive as ever with his eyes.
And it's still 0-2 to Herbeck, who is 0-4-2 in this World Series. More baseballs for Terry Tata, the man in blue. One and 2. Went for it, 2-2. Base umpire Don Decker. Herbeck hit 20 this year. And it stays 2-2. The best seat in the house belongs to Airship Shamu. Gracefully floating 1,500 feet above Fulton County Stadium on the trip up from SeaWorld in Orlando, Florida. Herbeck won't go for it. And it's 3-2. What's that, a little pretzel? Bouncer to Lemke. Whoop. 2 out. Lemke's feet went out from under him, but he regained his balance and threw him out. So Smoltz deals with the number 3 and 4 hitters and now takes on Brian Harper, who had a busy half inning, didn't he? Harper looking for his 3rd hit. Ball 1. Harper had to take a trip back to the minor leagues after being cut by the Cardinals. Went to Detroit, went to the minor leagues, fought his way back up to the big time, cashing in with the Twins. Ball 2.
You think of the times that he may have thought about quitting. Not John Smoltz, but Brian Harper. Released 3 times by 3 different organizations in a 2-year period. It's called Smoltz Smoke.
To the shortstop, Belliard backs up but grabs it and gets it. And 7 in a row by Smoltz. Home half of the 6th. We're tied 1 apiece.
The Lexus LS400 is equipped with a very sophisticated suspension system, which makes it seem like it's riding on rails, even when it's not.
It was a good day for ideas. Plans for a sidewalk cafe were finalized. A river walk was proposed. And someone had the vision to bring luxury and romance back to train travel. Keep those ideas coming, and we'll keep making them look their best. LaserJet printers from Hewlett-Packard.
There's a level of service with which you're already quite familiar. Only now you can enjoy it at 35,000 feet. Delta's person-to-person service to over 270 cities worldwide. At Delta, we love to fly, and it shows.
Perché sei andato, Marco? Lasciando me tormentata. D'altri paghi a giochi la vita.
Why are foreign films so foreign?
Perché domando perché?
Try Bud Dry. It's dry brewed, not watered down. To drink light, yet satisfy completely. So at least refreshment speaks to everyone.
Hello, boys. He's back with a new generation of Dylans. James Arness stars in the world premiere movie, Gunsmoke 3, Sunday.
Tied at 1, bottom of the 6th inning. You know, Timmy, hitters try to keep that front side closed and show the pitcher really their back pocket and almost their uniform number. No different for pitchers, and I think that's a great adjustment that John Smoltz has made in the second half of the season. Look at that back pocket right there. That enables him to use his legs and drive toward the hitter, and that's why that fastball is in the 90s most of the time.
Yeah, the legs, very, very important. The lower body, he throws it with, obviously, with his arm and his hand, but that lower body, very, very important, as it is to a hitter.
2 quick strikes on Sid Bream leading off in the bottom of the 6th. Sid is 0 for 2. 2 out of 13. It'll be Bream, Olson, and Lemke against Jack Morris. Morris pitched 7 innings against Atlanta in the first game of this World Series. Takes this one into the 6th. Twins are probably saying to themselves, how are we still tied in this one after that last half inning?
Like finding money for Jack Morris.
Raining soup. Into the left. Gladden is there. 1 out here in the 6th inning. Batter is Greg Olson.
Remember a remark yesterday before the game, Tom Kelly telling us, Jack, that, players are not machines out there. And, they are human beings. And if you're a member of the Atlanta Braves now, you're probably saying to yourself, what in the world do we have to do to score?
They've left 6 and lost 2 other runners. Ball 1. They have 6 hits, a couple of stolen bases, been given 3 walks. Scored only 1. Ball 2 to Olson. He's going to walk and a strikeout.
Only guy who scored for the Braves in this game is a guy who walked by Olson, Terry Pendleton. All the guys who are trying to have gone through him have been unsuccessful.
Half swing, and Morris will throw out Olson for the 2nd out. Didn't get a very good swing on 2-0, did he?
Now that's the 2nd time. That's what Morris can do to you. He'll throw the slider occasionally when he's behind in the count. And you don't mind a check swing if there are 2 strikes because you're protecting the plate. But when you're in an offensive position as a hitter, you just hate to take a check swing.
There we see Ted Simmons, Joe Torre. Torre used to manage down here in Atlanta.
Back in 1982, the last time the Braves won the division. Ted Simmons, the minor league director for the St. Louis Cardinals. 2 old catchers teaming up to try to bring the Cardinals a pennant.
Lemke with a 1-1 count. But they had some thoughts about the collision at home plate.
If you've ever donned that gear and had somebody come into you that hard, you think about it.
Well, of course, we have another catcher up here, Johnny Bench. Here's Lemke shooting one out to Puckett. Down go the Braves in the 6th in order. We have played 6 and we're tied 1-1.
I have Denorex on this side. As soon as I put Denorex on my hair, I felt like the itch was going away.
What does the Denorex tingle tell you?
The tingle feels like it's taken away the dandruff.
Extra strength Denorex with conditioners has strong medicine to fight dandruff and its itch, plus conditioners to leave hair healthy looking and manageable.
The Denorex tingle tells me it works, and I see that it works. I have no dandruff, and I have no itch.
Denorex with conditioners, the dandruff shampoo you can feel working.
The Allstate agent who helps insure your car can give you a hand with a plan for life insurance. Your Allstate agent wants to be your agent for life. Allstate Life. Financial strength you can count on.
Where do you want to be in 20 years?
Well, my father worked for the same company for 39 years. He got 2 weeks vacation, but we never traveled far. He was saving to put 3 kids through college. At 65, he retired. At 67, he died. How can I invest so that after my kids graduate, I can enjoy the second half of my life?
You can get there from here with Shearson Lehman Brothers.
3 years ago, we set out to create a sports sedan. But first and foremost, we set out to create a Lexus. Introducing the new Lexus ES 300 Sports Sedan.
CBS Sports coverage of Game 4 of the 1991 World Series is brought to you by Lexus and the new ES 300 Sports Sedan. The financial consultants at Shearson Lehman Brothers. You can get there from here. And by Bud Dry. Dry brewed so it drinks light, yet satisfies completely.
We roll into the 7th inning of a 1-1 game here in Atlanta. On hand, covering baseball in the World Series for the CBS Spanish Radio Network, Billy Baroa, Gustavo Moreno, Jaime Jarin, Edgar Perea, and Armando Talavera. They have 40 million listeners in the USA and Latin America.
Far south is Ecuador. Do they travel?
They got enough announcers for a 15-game series. 1 ball, 1 strike to Shane Mack leading off, and Mack is in dire straits, 0 for 2 and 0 for 13. All you can do is keep swinging, and it's 1-1 from Smoltz. He's in the hole now. It will be Mack, and then Pagliarulo, who has driven home the only Minnesota run, and Greg Gagne. Smoltz has retired the last 7. Two and 2. Pitcher warming up, Carl Willis down in the left field corner. Because the pitcher is due to bat 4th in this 7th inning. And Mack went around. He's the 6th strikeout victim. He is 0 for 3 and 0 for 14.
Well, that would, with Willis up, that would indicate that Tom Kelly would probably pinch hit for Morris regardless of whether a runner were in scoring position. If, for instance, there were 2 outs and a man on first, I wonder if that would be the case. Remember, Morris is working on 3 days rest. If it goes to 7 games, Morris will have to come back on Sunday. The Twins have a little bit more of a cushion than the Atlanta Braves since they lead the Braves 2-1. So we'll see what Tom Kelly's going to do. I guess the most interesting scenario is if they go in order, will Morris go back out there?
This batter is Pagliarulo, 2 for 2. There's Jack Morris wearing the batting helmet. He may or may not come up in this inning. If he doesn't, it'll be the 8th. Getting late, isn't it? We're 1-1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tom Kelly did everything he could to win that game last night. He fired his entire battery of guns at these Braves, but Atlanta won it 5-4 and 12. Pagliarulo lost one into right field. That ball might leave the ballpark. It's going to be gone. Pagliarulo's 3rd hit of the night puts the Twins on top 2-1. Well, they got that big home run against Toronto, and he scores against Atlanta. And that probably will keep Jack Morris in the game.
A lot of ways to go right now for Tom Kelly. The big thing is he has the lead, and it's remarkable after that 5th inning that the Braves had. After 2 curveballs on which Pagliarulo swung through, Smoltz tries to come inside, and it looked like Pagliarulo was sitting on it, and he lofts his 2nd postseason home run this year.
Now a swinging strike by Gagne. We had some doubts up here at first whether it was going to go, but Pagliarulo knew it was gone. Gagne has struck out twice. And has a strike 2 count now.
So you go into the mind of John Smoltz and try to think about, you can see how upset he is. He had blown those 2 curveballs by Pagliarulo. He tried to sneak the fastball by inside, but was unsuccessful.
And a foul ball. There's something strange going on here, Tim, in that Smoltz is due to bat 2nd in the bottom of this inning, and there is absolutely nothing doing down in the Atlanta bullpen, so they're going to go with him.
I would imagine Bobby Cox is thinking that he probably has time. They do have the bottom of the 7th to get somebody ready. I think it may depend on how far they get in the hole. If it's 2-1, it may be a different pitcher than 3 or 4-1.
Still 0-2 to Gagne. And he strikes out for the 3rd time. Olsen throws him out again.
John Smoltz, after the 2 breaking balls, tries to throw the fastball. That's a 4-seamer. We talked about the sweet spot a couple of times in last night's game. Just over the fence, and John Smoltz obviously upset. I mean, you never know what he's thinking, but I would imagine he's thinking, he looked bad on 2 curveballs, and I tried to throw the fastball. Why didn't I come back with another curveball? You know, people talk about second-guessing, that players don't do that. Players do that all the time. You try not to, but again, you're not a machine. You're a human being.
They're going to lift Jack Morris here. He will be finished after 6 innings. And Gene Larkin is going to pinch hit. And Tom Kelly will turn to that bullpen, which has served him so well in the postseason. Smoltz has 2 strikeouts in the inning and 7 in the game. And Gene Larkin will bat for Jack Morris. There are 2 out, and there's strike 1. Morris pitched 6 innings, 1 run, 6 hits. Struck out 4, and he walked 3. And he has a chance to win his 4th World Series game without a loss. One and 1 to Larkin. He's in the hole now. If Jack Morris wins, he'll be 7-1 in postseason play during his career.
With 4 postseason wins this year, only Dave Stewart of the Oakland Athletics has done it in postseason play. There is, however, one asterisk. Back in 1981, you remember that was a strike season, and Bert Hooton did it. He beat Houston in the mini playoffs, and then he won twice against Montreal and once in the series against the Yankees.
First baseman Breen takes that one. 1 run, 1 hit. The Pagliarulo homer. 7th inning stretch time. 2-1 Twins.
Old Spice presents 7th inning stretch, brought to you by Old Spice. Cool, crisp, and clean. It puts the wind in your sails. This pitcher threw a record 59 consecutive scoreless innings in 1988. Can you name this true blue bulldog? Hershiser of the Los Angeles Dodgers pitched 5 straight shutouts in his remarkable 1988 season, capping it off with a world championship.
Because there's a man planning his retirement. Because there's a family hoping to send their kids to college. Because every investor is different, with dreams all their own, Dean Witter measures success one investor at a time.
Dentists tell you to change your toothbrush every 3 months. So does the new Oral-B indicator. When the blue band fades halfway, it's time for a new brush. The new indicator from Oral-B, the brand more dentists use.
Somehow, people have gotten the idea the new Toyota Paseo is a wildly exciting, sporty coupe. The Paseo is a practical, sensible car. Okay, so it has some muscle. And a low starting price could be a big turn-on. And sure, you're going to be instantly popular. That's no reason to do something impulsive. Think it over. The all-new Paseo. A very practical car. From Toyota.
The Bears look really fierce. Billy, what do you know? You're just a kid. The Saints are off to an awesome start. They're going to cream them, right? Right. Not.
We're in the home half of the 7th, and the Twins lead it 2-1. Pagliarulo has driven home both runs for the Twins. They call on Carl Willis, his second World Series appearance. And as John Smoltz went to the dugout, he was unhappy.
Remember those 2 curveballs, swing and a miss by Pagliarulo, and then the fastball he tried to sneak by him? I would imagine that's what he's thinking about right now.
John Smoltz in the dark. He's going to be lifted for a pinch hitter in this inning. Braves trail by a run. And they pinch hit for Rafael Belliard, the shortstop. And they send up Jeff Treadway. Treadway, a 300-plus hitter during the regular season. 2 for 6 in postseason and 1 for 3 in the World Series.
Remember last night when Carl Willis went to his mouth. You see, he does a lot of things around his mouth. Could be that allegations, and the scouts have told the Braves that he may be throwing a spitter. Whenever a pitcher spends that much time around his mouth, Bobby Cox and his organization is inclined to think that Willis may be loading them up.
Treadway takes a strike, and it's 1-1. It'll be Treadway, then another pinch hitter, and then Lonnie Smith. Treadway pops it into left for Gladden, who's been very busy. Let's go downstairs to Pat O'Brien.
All right, Jack, thank you very much. Sitting with a couple of Cardinals, a couple of catchers, Ted Simmons and Joe Torre. What'd you think of that collision at home plate, Ted?
Oh, it's right on the nose. I mean, it gets real exciting in a game when something like that happens. Harper took a severe bolt, but he hung on.
The best one or the worst one you've seen? You had one this year in your park.
That's one of the best ones, and the other one was when Langford from our ball club knocked out Dalton. We win a ball game. Same type of collision at home plate. He's going to feel it in the morning.
Dawn on you guys up there that everybody involved here is a Cardinal. These 2 guys, Harper, Smith, McCarver, and Buck. Back to you.
Well, Tommy Gregg never played for the Cardinals. He's the pinch hitter here for John Smoltz. Smoltz leaving the game, trailing 2-1. Gregg takes ball 1.
Pat O'Brien could have put Jim Cott in that boat, too. Kitty, a member of the 1982 World Champion Cardinals.
Got 3 of them.
1 strike to Gregg. Boy, did John Smoltz pitch well. 7 innings, 2 runs, 7 hits, struck out 7, walked none. And Willis gets ahead on the count.
See all that movement around the mouth. You know, the glove goes up there, the hand goes up there. Really not supposed to go to your mouth when you're on the mound. Even though tonight may be cool enough for the umpires to allow the pitchers to blow on their hands. See, there's a lot of movement around there. I mean, that creates suspicion right there.
Of course, that's half the battle for a pitcher.
Sure. Make them think it. If you're not doing it, make them think you're doing it.
1-2 to the pinch hitter, Tommy Gregg. Man retired in the bottom of the 7th. The Twins trying to gain a 3-games-to-1 edge over Atlanta. And they lead it 2-1. And 2. Willis walked a couple in his other World Series appearance. New pitcher for Atlanta. It's going to be Mark Wohlers. Bottom of the 7th, 3-2 to Gregg. Try called, and Gregg is down. Willis gets his first strikeout.
We have Richie Garcia, who is an American League umpire and with us during the series. Richie, where do you draw the line as far as going to your mouth if you're an umpire and somebody like Carl Willis is up there?
Well, the main thing that you want him to do, you notice he goes to his neck. Well, anytime he goes to any part of his skin, the umpires are going to make him wipe. As far as his glove going to his mouth, I personally believe that it's just a habit that he has. I don't believe he's doing anything at all. We've watched him during the season. He's been accused during the season of throwing a spitter.
Oh,
we've watched him.
Right?
Well, he's been accused, but we've watched him, and I've watched him myself.
Here's Lonnie hitting one a ton to tie it. Smith gets his second hit of the night, his third of the series, 2 of them home runs.
Well, if Carl Willis is throwing a spitter, maybe Lonnie hit it on the dry side. He hit this ball a ton. Second home run of the series for Lonnie Smith to tie it. Wow.
Well, a drifting strike in there to Pendleton, who has had a homer and a double. Center, Gladden goes to it and has it, and the inning is over. Well, we're all tied after 7, and now it's 2-2.
Toyota presents All-Around Champions. The bullpen of Mike Hanneman, Paul Gibson, and Jerry Don Gleaton helped make the Detroit Tigers season a surprise success. The trio also made huge contributions off the field, purchasing almost 3,000 tickets for disadvantaged children in Michigan. Toyota is proud to contribute $1,000 to the Tigers bullpen boosters. Toyota salutes All-Around Champions.
This is an exciting moment.
Some said it couldn't be done.
We can see it now.
How did they do it?
And while all the others only talked about it,
I'm so happy they did it.
we did it. Introducing the 1992 Toyota Previa. Now the only van that meets all passenger car Federal Motor Vehicle safety standards. Because when it comes to safety, we didn't let anything stop us.
From director Martin Scorsese.
Somebody's out there.
Come out, wherever you are. I want you the hell off my property.
What's your connection with this fella? I was his lawyer.
Dad, you should have just punched him out.
Yeah, you know how to fight dirty. You do that for a living.
Evening, lady.
There is nothing in the dark that isn't there in the light, except fear. Cape Fear. Rated R. Exclusive engagement November 13th. Starts November 15th everywhere.
This game summary is sponsored by Budweiser.
Mike Pagliarulo has driven in both runs for the Twins. Pendleton hit a homer, and so did Lonnie Smith, and we're 2-2 going into the 8th.
Hitting and pitching. The pitchers try to keep it off the sweet spot, and the hitters try to make contact right there. And that's what Lonnie Smith did, and this game's tied up. From one sweet spot to the other.
The new pitcher is Mark Wohlers. He is in his 3rd World Series game. Only pitched an inning and a 3rd. We have a new shortstop. That's Jeff Blauser playing where Belliard had been playing. in the top of the order for the Twins. Pendleton scoops it. Good play. 1 out. Madden go for 4.
Pendleton playing in for the bunt. Watch the backhand. From his angle.
Wasn't easy, was it?
Soft hands. Made it look easy, though.
He sure did. Now at the plate, it's Knobloch. He doubled in the first, 1 for 3. Ball 1 from Wohlers. Kirby will bat next. Kirby Puckett. Ball 2.
The one problem with the Atlanta defense right now, Jeff Blauser hit in the right elbow. A fungo bat hit him. Pat Corrales, I talked to Jeff before the game. I'm not too sure he'd tell me if his throwing arm were hurting him, but he said it's okay. Now that can be, defined as a lot of things. Is it okay to throw from the hole? We'll see.
Wohlers comes back with a strike. This young pitcher, Mark Wohlers, from Holyoke, Mass. His pitching skills not totally refined. He can blow the ball. He can strike you out. And he does issue a few walks. 2-2.
I knew you'd get Holyoke.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you have to. It's like my reference to Memphis, right?
Got to get the Paper City on the map.
Sure. Right outside Springfield, or is Springfield outside Holyoke?
That's about 8 miles from Springfield. Knobloch has had 5 hits in the series, 12 in postseason play.
Think of all the hometowns represented here on both clubs. In this country, Latin America, Canada.
It's the beauty of baseball, isn't it?
Sure is.
Brings them all together. All sorts of folks from everywhere. Into right field, and that is a foul ball. That's where Knobloch got his double earlier, and this one just missed.
Watch Drew Coble, the right field umpire. Now, boy, that's about as close as you can get. I mean, you can't get any closer to calling a ball. That ball was right near his feet. That's why there are 6 umpires carried in postseason play. Drew Coble right on it. Almost hit him.
Yeah, he's had some tough plays to call.
That's the thing about an umpire, see, if you're in foul territory and the ball hits you, you know it's foul.
A battle here between Mark Wohlers and Chuck Knobloch. Ooh, it just missed. How Knobloch led off, I don't know. It's 3-2. That guy ready. He's got the roll in his glove and the feathers to go with his outfit. This is a good one. We're in the 8th inning. We're tied 2-2, 1 out. Wohlers in relief of Smoltz. And Knobloch gets on base with 1 out ahead of Puckett. Game 5 right here at Atlanta's Fulton County Stadium tomorrow night. And our starting time, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Kevin Tappany, a winner earlier against Tommy Glavine, coming back on 3 days rest, both of these pitchers. Glavine was a loser in this series to this point. Well, Bobby Cox comes out. And he's already made the call for Mike Stanton. He'll be the 3rd Atlanta hurler.
When I first saw Sarah on the library steps, I swear it skipped a beat. When Don Larson was 1 pitch away from a perfect game in the World Series, it stood perfectly still. On that awful day in '63, it felt like it was in the pit of my stomach. And that incredible moment when we all took one giant leap for mankind, it nearly burst with pride. But last year, when the doctors told me my heart was failing, and without a transplant I wouldn't last 6 months, that's when it stuck in my throat.
A year ago, the Prudential created the Living Needs benefit. Now, the terminally ill could collect their death benefit while they were alive, and they could use it for anything their heart desired.
Now that I'm alive and well, I think of the donor. I think of his family, and naturally, my heart goes out to them.
For information, call 1-800-654-ROCK.
We've added the leading cough suppressant to the proven cold relief of Alka-Seltzer Plus to relieve your cold and cough at the same time. New Alka-Seltzer Plus cold and cough medicine in the purple box. 2 kinds of relief from only 1 medicine.
Own a foreign car, Midas has the right brake parts in stock for practically every foreign car. And our brake technicians are trained experts, so we do the job right and right away. For foreign car brakes, nobody beats Midas. Nobody.
The people of CBS News. Dan Rather.
Connie Chung.
Mike Wallace.
Paul Azan.
Harry Smith.
And Charles Gerald. Experience.
CBS News.
Last Friday, he became the Palace Hotel's new big mistake head of security. Lock your doors.
Let's recap.
Stop it! Now the real fun, Money, Sex, Palace starts.
What's this? It's that box. What's in it? A lot of tiny little guys in Speedos.
It's the love-hate relationship, mostly hate, everyone's talking about.
What are you doing?
Palace Guard, Friday.
2-2, top of the 8th. 1 on, 1 out. New pitcher. The left-hander Mike Stanton following Smoltz and Wohlers to the hill. Let's go down to Jim Cott.
Well, Tim, I think what's refreshing to see, and Jack, in recent years, is managers throw that old left versus right out the window because they go by what pitcher, who's got the best stuff, and we've seen both these guys do it.
Bobby Cox, Kitty, telling us before the game that it did not matter with Mike Stanton. Right-handers have hit .230 against him this year, left-handers .194, and Bobby Cox has as much confidence against right-handed batters as he does left-handers. The unusual thing, however, in this particular case, Kirby Puckett led the majors this year against left-handed pitchers. He batted .406.
He's licking his chops. 1 on, 1 out. He's 1 for 3 in this game. Into right field, David Justice to the track, waiting. Runner tags at first and stays at first. 2 out. Now the left-handed batter will come up.
And Ken Herbeck. First pitch hitting. Kirby Puckett chooses one, can't get around on it. Mike Stanton with 74 appearances this year as a rookie. That's 4 shy of Tim Burke's rookie record back in 1985.
Herbeck is wearing the collar. Gets a big swing and fouls the ball. He's an everyday player, and left-handers don't bother him, and he has an opposite field stroke sometimes with power. How about Puckett? 1 for 4 and 2 out of 16. They're calling out cheater to Herbeck. There goes the runner. No throw on a stolen base for Knobloch. Knobloch gets down to second with 2 out.
Tell you, he had such a good jump on that one. What you do is throw to third to cut him off. I mean, not only no play, look at this jump by Knobloch. And what do you have to lose? I mean, the chances of you scoring on an extra base hit are not great, but scoring on a Herbeck single is great. Fine base running by Knobloch.
Against Stanton, that's 10 steals in 11 attempts. Stanton's tough against left-handed batters, and that makes it 1 and 2. In fact, Stanton limited left-handed hitters to a 194 mark this season. Runner at second, 2 out. 8th inning of a 2-2 game.
driven in to Ken Herbeck.
And it evens the count 2-2. Little old hit would put the Twins on top. All ball keeps Herbeck up there.
You saw the high and tight one, and now here's the breaking ball to Herbeck. And he just stays alive.
Struck him out on a ball in the dirt. Out at first, and we're still tied. The Braves will send up some good hitters in the bottom of the 8th.
Did you tell your boss you're quitting?
No, I'm telling him on Monday.
Got any plans yet?
A few.
No celebrity spokesman.
I'm opening a restaurant.
No beach volleyball games.
How about another Heineken?
No lengthy description of the brewing process. None of that is what made Heineken the #1 imported beer in America.
You got that steady paycheck? Oh, yeah. I got a few bucks put away.
So you want to own a restaurant?
No, what I really want to do is be a relief pitcher.
You made me love you. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. You made me want you. And all the time you knew it. I guess you always knew it.
You know you love the luscious taste of McDonald's Big Mac. Add fries and a Coke for a deal that's irresistible. The Big Mac Extra Value Meal at McDonald's today.
You know you made me love you.
The Allstate agent who helps insure your car can give you a hand with a plan for life insurance. Life insurance. Your Allstate agent wants to be your agent for life. You're in good hands with Allstate.
I remember it well. I just come out of some of the most rugged country of Utah when I turned 200,000 miles on my truck.
I was way back in the woods. It's rugged. It's at the base of Chestnut Mountain. A lot of people won't go there, but it's a special place to me.
I pulled over the side of the road, showed a sign saying 200,000 miles. Is that cool or what?
Where were you when your Toyota truck hit 100, 200, or 300,000 miles? Call us and tell us your story.
The only truck I'll ever own will be a Toyota. I'll tell you that much right now.
You are watching the World Series on CBS.
Terry Pendleton with a bad left knee that's going to demand an operation when the series is over. Being worked on between innings here by one of the Atlanta trainers. We are in the bottom of the 8th inning. Cinderella Braves are serious. Well, this is a serious game here. 2-2 in the home half of the 8th with Gant, Justice, and Green coming up against Carl Willis, who worked the 7th and allowed a home run to Lonnie Smith. Cal Urullo drove in a run. Pendleton homered. Cal Urullo hit a home run. So did Lonnie Smith, and here we are. Tim, this is a dangerous team, Atlanta, to flirt with in the late innings. Tie game or whatever. They've got some people that can knock it out of this friendly park.
Ron Gant's one of them. He's leading it off here. 32 home runs on the year. I think I'd play Pagliarulo on the line in this situation. Gagne over near the hole, and Pagliarulo appears to be playing straight up. Gant, the type of guy who can spank it down the line.
Willis gets a strike in there to Ron Gant, who's had a single and a walk. Pagliarulo a few steps off the line, and Gagne playing in the hole at short. You know what Gant's thinking. 1-1. Well, we had a bizarre Atlanta 5th. Can that fellow see or not? Security guy, I guess he can. Doesn't look like it from the outside. Bottom of the fifth, Atlanta did everything but score a run. They had a single, a double, a walk, a stolen base, a wild pitch. And hits it right to Pagliarulo. Was he in the right spot? One out.
He hit it to his right. 2 steps to his right. Here it is right here. 2 steps to his right, 2 steps and have a ball. That's exactly what Pagliarulo did.
And we're going to have another pitcher as Tom Kelly comes out.
You're traveling through the weightless environment of Nike Air Flight. Next stop, the flight dimension. Examine, if you will, Scottie Pippen about to discover the power of his flight shoes, by way of a time warp. And so, history gets a lesson in the flight dimension.
Son, you can make hundreds of dollars a year in professional basketball.
A cold always starts small. A stuffy nose, a little sneeze. But before you know it, your cold is full grown. That's when you need Dimetap. If it was any stronger, you'd need a prescription. Doctor-recommended Dimetap Extend tabs work for 12 full hours. It's the way to relieve the congestion and sneezing of a full-grown cold. Maximum strength Dimetap Extend tabs. Relief for the full-grown cold.
Go on, Oscar. Go on, boy. Oh, look, a tennis ball. Look at that, buddy. Hey, get the paper, boy. Go on.
Oscar's no fool. No way is he going to leave the comfort of Carrier's high-efficiency gas heat.
Why don't you just get the leash, Frank?
Me? I'm not going out.
Carrier makes it better inside. Natural gas makes it more affordable. For home heating, for cooking, or hot water, use clean natural gas. America's best energy value.
In the Olympic Winter Games, a fraction of a second can separate the top 10 finishers. An instant of hesitation can cost a medal. A split-second decision can lead to disaster. A fraction of a second can mean the dream of a lifetime. The Olympic Winter Games are coming to CBS. Don't miss a fraction of a second.
Mark Guthrie makes his 3rd World Series appearance. Left-hander, born in Buffalo, New York, lives in Venice, Florida. Takes over with the bases empty, 1 out, bottom of the 8th. And his first opponent will be David Justice. He is 0 for 2 with a walk. 2-2 the score, bottom of the 8th. Allowed 1 run, and Carl Willis a run. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Very interesting graphic there. That's lifetime. Dave Justice 311 against left-handers.
2 balls and a strike. Alejandro Pena on his feet in the right field corner. Two and 2 to Justice. Guthrie, 2 games, 2 2/3 innings, only 1 hit. He pitched in that marathon last night. Brian Hunter moves on deck to bat for Breen.
See, when a manager makes a middle inning or late inning pitching change, what he tries to do is trade a pitcher for a hitter. He wants the move to be made right now. That Tom Kelly and Bobby Cox is going to accommodate him.
That keeps Justice up at the plate. We're at Atlanta's-Fulton County Stadium, Game 4 of the '91 World Series. And look at that line score, dead even. 2-7-0 for each club with 1 out in the bottom of the 8th inning. Airship Shamu is bringing us tonight's aerial shots of the contest. Pendleton a home run, Pagliarulo a home run, Lonnie Smith a home run, 3 home runs in a 2-2 game. And it's a good one like last night's was. Guthrie to Justice. And a strikeout for the 2nd out of the inning.
The key plays in this game, back in the 5th inning with nobody out and Lonnie Smith on second base. Long drive by Ron Gant, or make that Terry Pendleton to center field. And the collision at home plate, remarkably, Brian Harper holds onto the ball. And then several pitches later, with 1 out and Pendleton on, I should say that was a Greg Gagne squeeze play that didn't work in the 4th inning. So those are 2 of the plays that haven't worked for either team. But that 5th inning, a bad inning for the Atlanta Braves, and if they lose, they'll go back to that inning.
Hunter the batter, pinch hitting for Breed. Taking that outside pitch for ball 2. 2 out and nothing shaking here in the 8th. That missed. And I would guess that Hunter is swinging. 3-0, 2 out.
Hunter with a big home run in the 7th game of the NLCS last Thursday off John Smiley.
He is swinging and drills it into right center field, but Shane Mack goes back to make the catch, and now we played 8 innings of a 2-2 game.
Make it roomier, even quieter.
A dramatic redesign.
Let's increase driver visibility.
Make ABS available on every model.
Driver's side airbag must be standard. Right. Safety's essential. Increase torque, horsepower, and body strength. Let's recontour the front seat backs.
More rear legroom.
Let's offer 4 new colors.
It might be difficult to listen to this kind of criticism if you weren't confident about your identity. But you're different. You're special. Introducing the all-new 1992 Toyota Camry. We just couldn't leave well enough alone.
When her car needed a new battery, you got the heavy-duty model. When the tires started to wear, you spent a little more for the good ones. And even though the brakes could have made it a while longer, you said replace them. And now that fall's here, you're using Prestone antifreeze. Its patented formula exceeds every performance standard set for the antifreeze industry. For corrosion and freeze-up protection, Prestone, we make it better than we have to. For some very good reasons.
Business kept us on the road for days, and I was hard-pressed for a good deal on a rental car. But some guys in the airport might take me to the cleaners. Suddenly, everything fell into place.
Dollar Rent-A-Car is right on the airport, right on the money. Great rates, unlimited mileage.
May I see something in the compact?
Call 1-800-800-4000.
It took all day. But they finally came up with one very big idea. What do you bet they printed on a laser jet from Hewlett-Packard?
Tied after 8 innings at 2. Lonnie Smith tied it with a home run in the 7th inning. We mentioned that key 5th inning with Brian Harper leading off here in the 9th. Worth showing again. You saw the collision by Lonnie Smith, and now look at the play that Harper makes on Terry Pendleton. The first 2 outs of that inning recorded by Harper in a most, again, bizarre way. One with the collision with Lonnie Smith, and then the wild pitch and getting Terry Pendleton. And that squeeze play by the Minnesota Twins in the 4th inning, you saw that too. So those are the 3 key plays in this ball game thus far.
Brian Harper is 2 for 3 tonight. facing Mike Stanton, and Brian Hunter plays first. In for a strike to start the ninth. Harper and then Mack and then Pagliarulo, who has 3 hits. Harper 6 out of 12 in the series. And he's a home run threat in this park. He hit 10 during the season. One ball, 2 strikes. Airship Shamu bringing us the aerial shots of this game. Twins and the Braves, and up from Orlando, Florida in SeaWorld is Shamu. Quite a sight in itself, isn't it? 2 balls, 2 strikes. Minnesota has left 4. Atlanta's left a half dozen. Foul ball, I believe. Yep, out of play. Told you about Harper earlier. Not many walks, not many strikeouts. He makes contact. He's to be reckoned with.
See Harper talking to himself. Right there, you could see he's got a code in hitting. You could see him move his lips. He's got a code in hitting. It's probably keep the front shoulder in or one key. You could see him talk right before he got in the box. A lot of hitters do that.
Another fly ball into short right and caught by Justice. Boy, for Atlanta, what a saber that was. And after the foul ball by Harper, Justice changed his position in right field.
We talked about Harper, how he was talking to himself. Now watch. He's talking about a key right there, and maybe he was saying, if I hit a little dunker to right field, David Justice, don't be there, but he was.
Justice made a good play on that one for the first out in the ninth, bringing Shane Mack up there. Mack would like to get his first hit of the series here in the ninth inning. He is 0 for 3 and 0 for 14.
You'd think with, 50,000 plus people in the stands that you wouldn't be lonely out there, but some guys get lonely and they talk to themselves. Pitchers do it all the time. A lot of hitters do it. Work on one key, try to put it in motion, and you could clearly see Harper telling himself something to try to keep his focus right there.
He's his own psychologist.
Yeah, right. Saves a lot of money.
Shane Mack trying to battle his way on base with 1 out here in the ninth. Out of play, and it's 2-2. Stanton has set down the 3 men he has faced, following Smoltz and Wohlers to the hill. Sid Bream taking a baseball apart, trying to find a message in there. Shane Mack to Justice. That's the second out, and Mack can't buy a hit. He's 0 for 4 and 0 for 15. Twins leading 2 games to 1, but tied here 2-2 in the ninth.
Twins with many opportunities to score last night, and it was the Atlanta Braves who came through. The hit by Mark Lemke in the 12th inning, and the Atlanta Braves all year have come from nowhere to win ball games. Steve Avery, the starter last night. Atlanta winning the National League Western Division by 1 game over the Dodgers. Then coming from behind to beat the Pirates. They're behind in this series.
Ball one to Scott Leyes, sent up there by Tom Kelly to bat for Pagliarulo. Pagliarulo singled and drove home a run in the second. Got another hit in the fourth and hit a home run in the seventh to put the Twins on top for a brief period of time. Foul ball 1-1, and Terry Pendleton is right on the line at third.
Yeah, with 2 outs and nobody on, you want to make sure that you don't get any extra base hits. But think about the managers. Both pitchers, Guthrie and Stanton, have made each manager change a hitter. Guthrie had to pitch to Hunter instead of Bream, and now Stanton has to pitch to Leyes instead of Pagliarulo.
Groans on that call. 2 balls and a strike.
And as we found out last night, it is possible to run out of players, huh?
Minnesota did everything but that. Had only 2 starting pitchers on the bench when the game was over. Now standing behind on the count to Leyes, who stroked a game-winning home run for the Twins in Game 2. That's a strike. This top of the ninth to end right here.
Game 2 in the 8th inning. This is what Scott Leyes did. Tommy Glavine. And Minnesota won it 3-2 because of that home run.
Up with a 2-2 count, 2 out. And another foul.
So if you're doing the chop and you have a foul ball landed, that kind of messes up the section that was doing the chop. They have to catch the foul ball. So that section right below us, that kind of messed up their chop there.
Retired 4 in a row. No, says the first base umpire, 3-2.
It didn't even look close enough for an appeal play. We'll see. Wow. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
He could have gone around it. That was very close.
Now it's 3-2. And a base hit, perhaps. Lottie grabbed it. Oh, that ball was knuckling out there, and he caught it to send us tied into the bottom of the 9th inning, 2-2.
I don't want gimmicks. I want a long-distance company I can count on.
You know, we're going to see this dramatic drop in our phone bill, and we didn't.
And it was just like a hassle figuring out both bills, both sets, and so we just said, hey, you know, we just scrapped it.
The service wasn't there, so I went to AT&T and stayed with AT&T.
And I've been happy with them ever since, and it's just been great.
Get back the service and value you deserve. Come back to AT&T now for free.
There's a big idea heading your way from Chunky, the big soup. Chunky chicken corn chowder. Mouth-watering mammoth chunks of chicken, the towering taste of sweet corn, a preponderance of potatoes in an immensely creamy, rich broth. Chunks big enough for a fork, blended like never before. So you better use a big spoon to get every bountiful bite of this deliciously different soup. Chunky chicken corn chowder. Soup so big, it eats like a meal.
You know, if you pay as much attention to your jump shot as you do trying to impress women. Oh, it's just this new shampoo. My hair comes out looking really good. Shampoo. Yeah, it's got a conditioner in it, right in the bottle. Talked about this before. What? Look, all the conditioner in the world doesn't mean a thing the minute your dandruff shows up. Ah, fear not, paranoid one.
For the first time ever, the world's leading dandruff shampoo comes complete with full-body conditioners. Introducing Head & Shoulders 2-in-1, making all your first impressions all the more impressive.
A recent Department of Energy study reveals that most American homes are under-insulated. And that means you. To find out what's right for your home, call Owens Corning. at 1-800-GET-PINK.
The temperature never drops below Xerex. That's very important to remember, especially at a time like this, when it's very deserted and very cold. Ah, you did remember Xerex Antifreeze. The temperature never drops below Xerex.
Bottom of the ninth, the Braves could win it. We're tied 2-2. And the batters will be Olson, Lemke, and Jeff Blauser. Blauser replaced Belliard. Those are the 6, 7, and 8 hitters. This crowd wants a run, and the Minnesota pitcher is Mark Guthrie.
And speaking of pitchers, what a job Mike Stanton did. 5 hitters in a row that he retired, and what hitters they were. Puckett, Mack, Harper, Leyes, and Herbert.
Olson takes ball 1. Guthrie got the final 2 outs in the 8th. Those are the rally caps of the Braves. There's Steve Avery in the forefront. Strike call, and they call them their shark caps. They're going for the kill. A run here in the bottom of the 9th would tie this series at 2 games apiece. Hard hit to Gagne. Bad hop. He stays with it, and out at first. A great play by the shortstop. That ball was whistling and took a nasty hop.
Now, one thing, if your third baseman is playing more toward the line, you as a shortstop have to cheat toward the hole. See Pagliarulo or Leyes near the line, and Gagne cheating over there, especially with the left-hander pitching to a right-hander, and he makes a rather easy play out of it.
Had to feel it a bit off to the side as it took that hop. And Guthrie has retired 3 in a row. Deals with Lemke. He hits one deep into left center field. That's being chased at the wall and up again. He's going to end up at third with 1 out.
He had already singled, doubled. He won last night's game, and this one at the base of the wall, rattling off the hand of Gladden. And by the time Puckett recovers, Lemke has a triple.
And the Twins are stalling here to get a bullpen pitcher ready.
Steve Bedrosian is warming up for Minnesota, and no way does Guthrie pitch to Blauser.
Who is this little fellow with a single, a double, and a triple?
You got a lot of ways to go here, Jack. Tom Kelly may be thinking of only one place to go. He's coming out to the mound. What he could do, he could walk Blauser and then allow Cabrera to be announced and then bring in Steve Bedrosian, and then Bobby Cox would have to waste a man. I don't know whether he's going to take him out now or just bring Bedrosian in. We'll see. I think he's going walking. I think he said walking, and then they're going to get Cabrera up there, and then they're going to make a move, and that way they bring the left-hander back. So he said walking, and that's exactly what they're going to do. And then from there on, I think they're going to bring in Bedrosian to pitch to Cabrera after he's announced, and then Bobby Cox has to make a move. We'll see.
Lemke in a spot to be a hero again. What's Bobby Cox going to do? Well, he'll have to watch the intentional walk being given to Jeff Blauser. Bedrosian's in the bullpen. And Atlanta has a pinch hitter on deck.
But he's not going to be able to hit. They're going to bring Bedrosian in to pitch to Cabrera. The Braves have one other left-hander left, Jerry Willard.
So we'll see what comes of it as Tim McCarver thinks as a manager and tries to forecast the many possibilities. Lemke keeping a wary eye on home plate as the intentional walk is being effected here.
Regardless of what happens, the outfield is in. The outfield really is playing a deep infield position because a long fly ball right now is going to score the runner anyway. That's why you pull the outfield in. Now they're going to wait until Cabrera is announced, and we'll take another look at the triple by Mark Lepke. He finds the gap. And he finds third base, too. And that's what's going to happen. Cabrera was announced. And now Kelly's going to come out and make the move and bring Bedrosian in.
Bedrosian will pitch to either Cabrera or another pinch hitter. Well, now Bedrosian is in the game. Tight spot for the Twins.
Dean Witter believed one thing that should distinguish his brokers is their ability to listen.
Listen not only to what our clients say, but what they mean.
I have a vision about retirement. I know
Each client has a level of comfort.
You know me. I'm a planner.
There is no greater dividend a firm can earn than the confidence of its clients.
You've helped me make some good decisions.
There are many ways to measure success.
We measure success one investor at a time.
something happens between the weddings and birthday parties. It's called the rest of your life. That's why we created America's most popular camcorder, the Handycam, from Sony.
I'm Paula Zahn.
And I'm Harry Smith. How to avoid bad investments.
Plus Oliver North and Bill Cosby tomorrow on CBS This Morning.
It's breakfast for your head.
While you're watching the World Series, try not to think about those shocking photos or the town scandal. Try not to think about, well, you get the picture. Knots Landing will return after the World Series. In the meantime, please try to keep your mind on baseball.
More moves than a Swiss watch in this inning. Al Newman will be the new third baseman, replacing Scott Leyes. He'll bat ninth and may be a moot point, of course, if the Twins don't, or if the Atlanta Braves score. The new pitcher is Steve Bedrosian. He'll bat seventh. So Tom Kelly employed the double switch against Bobby Cox. Bobby Cox had sent Francisco Cabrera up on deck. And then Tom Kelly came out. He took the left-hander Guthrie out, and he brought the right-hander Bedrosian in. And in the meantime, Bobby Cox made the switch to Jerry Willard, who is the pinch hitter with Mark Lemke at third base, Jeff Blauser at first base, and only one out. Remember, the outfield is in. There's no way you give up a long fly ball in this situation. Long fly ball, the game is over. See how shallow the outfielders are? The infield, remarkably, is in double play depth.
Jerry Willard, the pinch hitter, a much-traveled ball player, in a spot to be an Atlanta hero. First and third, one out, and ball one.
On a slow hit ball to the middle infielders, the game's over. I think the middle infielders have to protect themselves and at least play halfway in case the ball's hit slowly to where they'd have a play at the plate. But they're back in double play depth.
One ball, one strike as Willard took a big swing. This fella has played at Bend, the Peninsula, Reading, Oklahoma, Charleston, Cleveland, Maine, Tacoma, Birmingham, Vancouver, the White Sox, and he's had only 14 at-bats this year.
You really take a chance playing the middle infielders back. Knobloch is in a step or two, but Gagne is back all the way for the double play.
Out of play, and Willard is in the hole, 1 and 2. This is not an easy task for a fellow who doesn't bat very often to take on Steve Bedrosian.
Tom Kelly probably thinking that Willard is not a fast runner, and even on a slowly hit ball, they may still have a chance for a double play.
Triple by Lemke. The intentional walk followed to Blauser, and now Willard, the pinch hitter, is in the hole with one out. going to be a winner for Atlanta. The runner tags at third. Here's the throw from Mack. Here's Lemke. He is out. Safe. They called him safe. And Atlanta wins. They were tied 2 games apiece. They said Harper did not tag him. Harper can't believe it.
I don't know whether he tagged him, but he touched him. Now, did he touch him with the ball, or did he touch him with the elbow? This is not a force play. You must make the tag with the ball. And he didn't. That was a good call by Terry Tata. He made the tag with the left elbow and not the ball. The left elbow and not the ball. We'll take it back one more time. He made the tag with the left elbow and not the ball. You've got to make the tag with the ball. Watch the left elbow. Right there. See, he's got the ball in his hand, and the glove, he never made contact with the runner with the glove. And the ball's in the glove, and that was a good call by Terry Tata. See, you've got to make the tag. On a tag play, you've got to make the tag with the ball. He tagged him with the elbow right there. But he never made the tag with the ball. And the ball's in the glove. Good call, Tata. Unbelievable.
Willard drives home Lemke.
See that? There's the gap right there. And there's the elbow. There it is right there. There's the elbow. And that's why he never made the tag with the ball. And that's why Lemke was safe. Unbelievable ball game.
We're tied at 2 games apiece in the 91 World Series.
You made me love you. You made me want you.
You know you want the luscious taste of McDonald's Big Mac. Add fries and a Coke for a deal that's irresistible. The extra value meal at McDonald's today.
You know you made me love you.
We've added the leading cough suppressant to the proven cold relief of Alka-Seltzer Plus. So now you can relieve your cold and cough together. Introducing Alka-Seltzer Plus Cold and Cough Medicine. 2 kinds of relief from only 1 medicine.
What is the image of a rebel? These are the images of a rebel. Canon's autofocus EOS Rebel and EOS Rebel S with built-in flash. So stop taking snapshots and start taking photographs.
Image is everything.
EOS Rebel and Rebel S from Canon. So advanced, it's simple.
Everest, where the toughest colds live.
Before I went for the summit, I took Alka-Seltzer Plus. It cleared up my runny nose, my stuffy head, and relieved my aches and pains. If something works, you use it, and it worked.
Alka-Seltzer Plus, tough medicine for tough winter colds.
On the heels of last night's 12-inning thriller, we get another dandy here
Welcome
tonight.
back to Atlanta-Fulton County Stadium. Atlanta has
winning
just
the game 3-2 and tied at 2 games apiece.
I will read from the rule book on that play that ended the game. A tag, listen closely, folks, a tag is touching a runner with the ball or with his hand or glove holding the ball while holding the ball securely and firmly in his hand or glove. You must touch him with the ball or with the glove with the ball in it. And as you see right there, the elbow touched Lemke, but not the glove with the ball or the hand with the ball in it, and that's why Lemke was safe.
Right on, Tim McCarver, and here is Jim Cox.
hero last night's game, and again tonight in the middle of it. Mark Lemke described that play that Tim McCarver just read the rule. Brian Harper made contact with you, but he didn't tag you.
Yeah, I kind of bumped him on the shoulder and slid around the outside. I think that was a situation where if I go after the catcher and knock the catcher over, I think I'm out. I tried to get around Brian. He gave me the shoulder into my side, and I was lucky enough to get around and get my hand on home plate, and he didn't never get the glove on me.
You know, you made an interesting point. You'd like to get excited looking at this, but these two nights emotionally drain you.
Yeah, these are the most emotionally drained games I've ever been through this season, and you know, you want to be so excited about it, but you know, you're just tired and you're drained, and you just want to look forward to a nice, quiet place, some rest, and look forward to tomorrow night's game.
Well, you'll get that and look forward to it and enjoy the times and the memories. Let's go back to Pat O'Brien.
All right, Kenny, gentlemen, thank you very much. So he's the hero of this morning's game. About 12:30 this morning, he's the hero of tonight's game, and the Chevrolet player of the game is, guess who, folks? Mark Lemke of the Braves. And Chevrolet will donate $1,000 on his behalf to the Special Olympics. And Tommy Lasorda is still with us. And Tommy, what about that play at the end?
Well, first of all, Mark Lemke may be the only guy in the history of the World Series to win 2 games in one day.
Same day, you're right.
And I'll tell you something. This is an exciting ball game, Pat. No question about it. And that play at home plate was as close as you can get. But I think that Terry Tatum made the right call. He looked like he hit him with his elbow, but he did not touch him with the glove and the ball. That's the way it appeared to me on television.
Exciting stuff from Atlanta-Fulton County Stadium. It's been some night, folks. We'll be back after a commercial and a word from your local station. Stay with us, please.
For once, Maytag is offering you something that won't last.
Yeah!
A 10-year money-back guarantee. Until October 31st, buy any Maytag washer and they'll guarantee the transmission will work for the next 10 years or your money back.
That's 70 dog years, Newton. Oh.
So see your Maytag dealer for details. And rest assured that even though this offer won't last, your Maytag will. Maytag, the dependability people.
There's goodness in everything we grow for you. A healthy way we make you feel that only dough can do. The best that there is, the earth has to give. How'd you do your dough today? How'd you do your dough today? How'd you do it? How'd you do your dough? Grab it, slice it, over, ice it. There's no better way. How'd you do your dough today? Dough to keep you healthy, dough to keep you strong. Toss it, stack it, pack it, pour it on. How'd you do your dough today? How'd you do your dough? How'd you do your dough? Take it, shake it, any way you make it. There's no better way. How'd you do your dough? How'd you do your dough today?
Disney's Big Bash still needs a host. Will it be Eddie Murphy, Steve Martin, Robin Williams, Dolly Parton, or Whoopi Goldberg? Garth Brooks and Angela Lansbury star Disney's 20th anniversary Friday.
Well, the loudspeaker here is playing Celebration, and that's what they'll be doing in Atlanta tonight. And it has been, as we said, some night for baseball. A beautiful night outdoors on the grass, and we hope you enjoyed it, because that does it for this Game 4. And for all of us at CBS Sports, I'm Pat O'Brien saying good night from Atlanta. Once again, our final score, the Braves 3, the Minnesota Twins 2. And so the series has even at 2 apiece. Join us again tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Eastern Time for Game 5. It'll be Kevin Tapani for the Twins and Tom Glavine for the Braves.
CBS Sports coverage of Game 4 of the 1991 World Series is brought to you by Toyota and their quality line of 1992 cars and trucks. Toyota, I love what you do for me. Hershey's Bar None, the candy bar that named itself. And by Sony, where imagination and innovation create the ultimate in sight and sound.
You've been watching the World Series on CBS Sports, the home of baseball's biggest game. They call it the Fall Classic. And Mark Lemke and friends have given us some classic moments. The series is tied. The collisions are only beginning. See you tomorrow, folks. Good night, everybody.
These unofficial moments in our national pastime are brought to you by the official airline of Major League Baseball, United. Come fly the friendly skies.